Welcome to the only source you need for topics and toy news. This is Gen Z Report. Joining us live, the ultimate Marvel Legends and comic collector. He's got the power of youth. He's got the stories. It's Ashwan. Next up, the master of SH figure arts. His collection is legendary, his knowledge unrivaled. Say hello to Zion. And leading the charge, the one and only, the fearless McFarlane apologist and the agent who never sleeps. It's Agent Zman. The Gen Z Report. Your weekly dose of awesome starts now.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Gen Z Report, your weekly host of awesome topics and awesome toy news and pickups. I'm your host, Agent Z-Man, and we'll go A to Z with Ashwan 231 Comics. And of
Hello,
course,
everybody.
Yep. And of course, Zion.
Hello.
I'm sure you probably heard the applause. You know, StreamYards is adding effects, so well, I guess we could do that. It's always fun to see what new features they have. But anyway, let's say hello to the chat. We have Kiana Leaves very early, very early, saying, "What's up, gang? What's up?" Then we have the Imagination Emporium. Evening, guys. Hope both Z-Man and Ashwan have enjoyed unboxing some of their MCM swag, which we'll get to in our pickups. Let's set it again. And then your boys got toys. Shout out Alexi, because they will be having their stream after ours at 2 a.m. our time UK and then the other time. So make sure to go to that after ours. But yes, in this week for the topic, we're obviously going to be talking about Mattel and Hasbro. They're kind of like, as one rises, the other one falls. But before we do that, we always do our kind of like pickups and that sort of stuff. So we'll start A to Z. So I'll start first. Before, as Imagination Emporium alluded, both me and Ashwan went to MCM Comic Con, which is still happening. Sunday is the last day, so I know a lot of the Who crew will be showing up there. So shout out to them and hope they have a great time. But Friday, so it's a 3-day thing and it's a lot of stuff. But before we get to the MCM pickups, just during the week when Dan Who posted his review of a new line that we'll be talking about, I was like, he gave it to me. He gave me the exclusive figure. It's the DC Mattel Core Robin with what's it called again? Robin Cycle. See, I couldn't even update that name. It's actually just the Robin Cycle. No. It's not Dan Who's. Don't worry. I didn't steal it from him. No. It was on Amazon, which for everyone in the UK, it seems like in 2 days we might be getting the rest of the new line, the core line, so the first wave. So if you want to see that, just go on Amazon, type DC Mattel, and there you go. But anyway, so I picked this up. Awesome. Can't wait to open it up. But let's put this to the side and now get to the chaos that is the MCM pickups. I'll start off with kind of taking a page from Ashwan's kind of like playbook with comics. So first off, we've got a Robin. I feel like there's going to be a theme here, but we got Robin, Tim Drake, Conflict, issue 13. Then we have, let me go order. but I'll just do it. Then we have Robin again, Tim Drake. This is one of one. I'm not sure what storyline this is. The multiplying vigilantes of villainies. I can't read. Of nature do swarm upon him. There we go. So we got that. Then we do have an Elseworld story. I'm assuming this is kind of related to the Batman Ninja type of Elseworld, but we have Robin. There you go. You can see Elseworld's annual, and it used to be £3, or that's how much I picked it up. Anyway, again, another Robin. Robin issue 11, him fighting Two-Face. Pretty cool, pretty cool. It feels like it's constantly Robin. You know me, I love Tim Drake. I can't resist. Then we have issue 14 with Robin, Tim Drake fighting KG Beast, and this is Troika 4. That's what it says here. There you go. And last but not least, for the comic pickups, it is JLA World Without Grown-Ups with Tim Drake, Robin, Connell, Superboy, or Connor Kent, and Bart Allen, Impulse. I'm pretty sure this is a story. No, it's not the story. I was going to say it's the Sins of the Youth, where all the Young Justice members age up to adults, whereas the Justice League turn into little kids. And they're like, oh, we have to play grown up. No, this is just similar art style, but kind of like the prelude to the Young Justice team. But there we go. That's comics. Then mini kind of pickups from MCM. So we'll go small size. This little Kubrick X-Men Iceman, which is from Medicom Toys, so the people who do the Mayfix stuff. But yeah, I saw this at a vendor, and they were selling a lot of the X-Men, both like individually like this, as well as 2-packs. But I only went for Iceman because he's my favorite mutant. So there we go. And then I think one of the things with MCM or Comic-Cons in general, you see a lot of people selling these custom Legos. And it's always, for me, it's always a case of like, I wonder what they have. I wonder what characters they will do. Which this is not my first foray. I had like a Jason Voorhees minifigure and a Godzilla minifigure on keychain. Those have not survived the time because they were on keychains and I kept them in my pocket, and eventually now they're armless. So hopefully these will survive longer because they're not keychains. But we do have little Lego Peacemaker. So we got his shield, his gun. Also, the hands, if you can see, have hidden blades. And it was very pointy. So I was like, ow, ow. Like every time I was picking it up. So a dangerous minifigure that will never probably get this like sort of like official release because he's a bit too bloody. But to counterbalance that violence, we have what I think is a Tim Drake Robin, but I could be wrong. But we have a custom Robin minifigure. I mean, it looks like Tim Drake enough. It's either Dick Grayson or is it Tim Drake? But you know, kind of like it's similar Arkham. So I'm just like, yeah, it's Tim Drake. But anyway, that's that. Then an actual Tim Drake pickup. We have the very first Tim Drake figure that was done by anyone, which was I think this was Kenner, the Kenner Batman line Robin. Now, there's a backstory to it where this initially was going to be for the movie Batman Returns, and Marlon Wayans from Scary Movie, White Chicks, and all sorts of films, he was attached to play Robin, but then last minute they cut him out, but he still gets residuals to this day for Batman Returns, even though he didn't show up at all. But they eventually, this figure was retooled to be a Tim Drake figure, but you can tell like the hair was meant to be like Marlon Wayans' hair back at that time. But yeah, first ever Tim Drake figure. Now I have this in my Tim Drake shrine. So we go from there to boxed goods, and it's only two more. Don't worry, it won't be too much. I promise. I promise. We do have this Combiner Wars Hot Rod or Rodimus. It's Rodimus. So packaging's a bit dinged up, but I'm gonna open it anyway. So this will also go with my Hot Rod slash Rodimus shrine. So there we go. And last but not least, because oh no, there's two more. We do have a Joy Toy Warhammer, the Black Talon Stormcast Eternals, Hendrik Silver Wolf. So this is the 1/18th scale figures. Usually don't go for this scale, but you know what? It's actually pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty good. And last but not least, because that was a lot, we do have a Star Wars pickup of the Black Series, the Jedi Survivor. It is Dagon Gera. There you go. From the video game. I got him for a $5. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, he doesn't have an arm, but there's a reason to it. Play the game. I'm not going to spoil it. But yep. Those were my pickups. a lot of Tim Drake. One hot rod. There was a hot rod I did get, but I'm selling it because I realized I already had it. So that's great. But anyway, from me, we go on to Ashwan.
Hello, guys. Of course, like Z-Man already said, I was at MCM Comic Con as well on Friday. So me and him were there. A couple else of the Who crew were there, and so we got some pickups. Of course, I got some clues in the name. Ashwan 2 Front Comics. So we'll start with comics, then we'll go over to a figure. So to start it off, so I went to Forbidden Planet, which is a UK store, and they had blind bags. So they had, I've opened these already, but they had types of blind bags. And they had Ultimate Endgame and Daredevil Issue 1. So I bought the Daredevil Issue 1. I opened it up. I was like, oh, cool. There's another blind bag. Hopefully I get a different cover. I got a cover I already have. So I was like, right, let me open the Ultimate Endgame. Let me open the Ultimate Endgame blind bag. So I bought two of them, but I opened the first one, and I'm like, right, let me see what I get. Hopefully I get a different cover. I get the same cover that I already have for Ultimate Endgame. So I'm like, right. I opened that, and I'm like, right, please don't be 3 out of 3. Like, you can't be. It's not 3 out of 3. But arguably, like, it's not that good in general. I opened the final Ultimate Endgame blind bag that I had. So I had two. This is the second one. And I got the A cover. Which isn't too bad because I didn't have it before. But it's kind of annoying when you can get variant covers. And I just get the boring A cover. So it's kind of annoying. But it's what you kind of pay for when you open a blind bag. You don't know what's going to be in there. I know, like, from now onwards, though, if people wanted to know, I think Marvel are not going to include the A cover in the blind bags, just, like, in case you get it. And so I think there's a new Queen and Black issue, or a new Queen and Black comic book coming out, and that's getting blind bags. And that's not going to have the A cover in it. So it'll be pretty good because a lot of the blind bags, I think a lot of people are getting this. So, yeah. So I got them blind bags, and then so I'm gonna go over to. So I got some trades, and then we'll get on to signed comics, and then Z-Man will show some pictures. So I got some trades. I didn't get any like Image. I got Marvel and DC, but what my rule is with trades with Marvel and DC is it's storylines that I can't get in comic form, or like it's gonna take like ages to get them in normal comics. So I just unlike older stories. So I got Wolverine, Old Man Logan. So pretty good. I think these are all like pretty good prices as well. This was £14. So if that, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't bother me what the price is of them anyways, because I kind of want to get them. I also got Superman Red Sun, so excited to give that a read.
Nice one.
And then last pickup, which is a DC pickup, and I was surprised that this was there, and I was surprised by like how I think it was like either £8 or £10, but it's the whole Batman Hush storyline in the trade. So
That is sick.
pretty good. Excited to. So it's fairly thick. So excited about that. And then we'll get on to the signed comics. So first, I will go with the Amazing Spider-Man. And so to give a bit of backstory on, so I have a couple more signed comics. So Pepe Larraz and Joe Kelly was like scheduled to be at MCM Comic Con, and Pepe Larraz was there, but Joe Kelly wasn't. And sadly, I don't know if it was just scheduling conflict or something happened where he couldn't come the Friday, and so he'll be there, or he was there today, but of course I didn't go today. But I got Pepe Larraz to sign my comic, so I got Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 signed, little signature there. So, and I got to have a picture done with him, so that was pretty cool. Me and Pepe Larraz there, and he was fairly nice. Like, it was kind of good because the other guy that I got to sign my comic, he was like charging for signatures, but Pepe Larraz was like free for just a normal signature. And so like if people aren't aware how their like pricing works, it's just like, so it's just normal signature, then it's like a graded one, then it's remarks, then it's like he had like a headshot kind of thing, and it just like went up in price. And like it was just free to get like a little signature done, and so got that. Happy to meet him, get a picture of him, and then so later in the day, me and Dan Hayden. So if he's watching, I don't know if he is, but he was with us on Friday, and me and him both bought this this variant. Or it's a black and white variant from Forbidden Planet that they had, exclusive Daredevil issue 1 variant, and so at the end of the day, we went to Lee Garbet's line. So Lee Garbett is the... So before I say anything, actually, Pepe Larraz is the artist for Amazing Spider-Man. And Lee Garbett is the artist for the Daredevil run. And Daredevil run has literally only been on for 2 months. It's very good at what him and Stephanie Phillips are doing. Like, it's very good. And he's the artist on it. And so I managed to meet him. So I got this cool cover signed. So this was, I think, for his signatures, it was either £8 or $8. And then the cover that Zman showed on the picture was, this is, I think it was a C2E2 like Expo exclusive that he had at his booth, and you could pay like £30 or $30 to buy this variant as well as get it signed. And so I got his little signature there and managed to get a picture of him. And just because there weren't too many people online, and of course, like I kind of wanted to, I had a little chat with him, and I was basically just saying that, like, being truthful, that I didn't really know too much about Daredevil other than the MCU. And so, like, I had a little chat with him, basically saying that my turning point on Daredevil comics has been his comic book, and that I appreciate what he's doing, because I think that his comic book at the moment, or from now until like later issues, is awesome. Like, I love it so much. Like, it's a new villain that Stephanie Phillips has introduced that is really good. But that's all for comics. I know comics is in my name, and I had a fair bit. Hello, Scotty. Scotty's gonna maybe get some signed comics tomorrow. So, quick little tie in there. But anyways, the figure that I got, so I didn't get many figures. I got one just because I spent most of my money on comics, and also I will say to include it into pickups. Even though we don't tend to talk about it on, like, when we're talking pickups, but I bought the new Lego Batman game, so that's one of my pickups, and so I kept a bit of money for that, so I didn't spend as much. But that's very good. So if there's anyone who is thinking about getting it, I definitely recommend it. But this figure, so 2026 for Ashwan 2-for-1 Comics is the start of new toy lines for him to collect. So I got to start it off with a bang. So Zion will be very happy because I got SH Figure Arts One Piece Monkey D. Luffy. honestly, this is. I saw it at Japan and I was happy with it because I think what I'm gonna do. I don't know, like whether to or while like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm doing it with Invincible with the trades. Like throughout Invincible, I'm then gonna buy the trades to like for the seasons, so then I don't then bypass the season. And I'm like I get spoilers technically. But with this, I'm gonna go like whatever season I get up to, I'm gonna buy the figures for. If you know what I mean. So I'm gonna get all the Romance Dawn stuff, and then whatever the next arc is, then I'm gonna buy the figure representation for that arc and stuff. Just because then to keep me up with it, and I'm gonna try and I don't know if I'm gonna have a double shelf or a single, but I'm gonna try and put like when I get more figures like season by season, just have them out. And I know that Zion would be very happy because I got this, and also that I think within a couple weeks they're gonna reveal another member of this this first act or second act crew for with figure arts. So maybe it could be some certain people that people want, and maybe a certain female that hasn't been added yet, or maybe some other people. But excited to get into that. Was gonna get Zoro because Zoro is my favorite character, but I'm probably just gonna wait and like I'm either gonna get it in between whenever if I get some money and I'm just able to find it for a decent price, I'm gonna get it then, or if not, I'm gonna wait until MCM in October and I'm gonna get Nami and Zoro together, just so then I have the main three at the start, and then I'll try and find Sanji and Usopp later date. But got this, very happy with this. Don't know when to unbox it because I'm just gonna I know that maybe we may have an unboxing stream this weekend. I don't know, and so I may keep it for that. But as soon as I got it on the Friday, I literally just been wanting to unbox it so much. But I've been waiting so much because I won't have anything else to unbox on the live stream if Dan does one. But very happy with this and very happy to delve into the madness in the SH Figure Arts line. So, yeah. That's all for me.
That's pretty sick. When we were looking at the booths, and it was from Kapow, the Monkey D. Luffy, and I was just like, oh my god, they have Usopp, they have, Zoro, and I was like, oh, you're gonna get all of them, and luckily, I think Ashwan was good. I wasn't a bad influence. I didn't go get them both. No. I think one of the things we were saying that the kind of weird thing about Kapow is that they didn't have anything Monster Force or Crimson Moon except the Operation Monster Force Chadsworth figure, but with the exclusive top that you could possibly get if you bought him normally. So it's more like a variant if you kind of Chase variant. But they only had that version, and they had upped the price to 90 when he's usually 50. And I was like, no way, I'm not spending all that just for one figure, which I will eventually get, and I'll play my luck then. So, tune in to the next one and see. Who knows if I get it then or whenever. I'm not going to be crazy because I also did get Lego Batman Digital Deluxe. I'm enjoying it. So good. So that was Ashwan's pickups. Now let's get to Zion.
I wish, but I don't have anything.
That's all right. Don't worry. But yeah, let's. So that was us. Wait, I don't know. I'm at the bottom. No, I'm joking. But as we know, this topic will be discussing. Well, no, now we're on toy news. Let's not get off topic. But let me just check the chat. All good. I think Scotty Toys was just acknowledging that he was going to get some signage. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, now let's get to the toy news. Oh, that's Ashwan. There we go. Oh, what's happening? They all disappeared. Boom, boom. There you go. we have sound effects, but there we go. So for starters, as related to my pickups, I've been kind of getting into Warhammer. So this announcement for the pre-order for the Joy Toy Hammer Horus Heresy Imperial Fists Leviathan Dreadnought with Cyclonic Melter Lance and Storm Cannon was definitely a really cool figure to show up. I've only gotten that kind of like a Age of Stigma or Sigma, or whatever it's called, and then in terms of Warhammer, Space Marine, kind of that stuff, it's only Iron Warriors so far. But looking at this, I'm just like, oh boy, if I get into this line with these guys with the Imperial Fists, ooh. So again, this is 1/18th scale, so it's pretty, it's not small. Like these are definitely going to be the larger scale, but the detail is amazing. Posing of it, I mean, I've got mine here, the only one that I've got opened. But yeah, let me see if it will show me his loadout. Oh no, so it just comes like this, but it's definitely the whole thing of Warhammer is that there's different ranges of like classes and that stuff. So you go like from small guy to the more mech armors, and then you have the Primarchs. So pretty cool. Now I know that Ashwan, he said that he was like he got into Warhammer and then he got out. Care to explain yourself, but also what do you think of this kind of like Joy Toy company doing the Warhammer stuff?
So to speak on the Warhammer side of things and where I was on it, so I started it as a hobby just because it's something to do, and I started it at 12, and for a couple of years I was on and off just because I used to do it when I had summer holidays and half terms and whatever. So I used to go in the shop, used to paint, and I had worth, I think, I don't know points wise because it's a point system in the game, but I had a fair bit of miniatures, and I was madly into it like I now am with Legends, or more so with Legends now. I was mostly into it. It would be for at least a couple of years, it would be the only thing I got for Christmas and birthdays. They would be the main stuff I would get, but it just got to the point where I was getting more miniatures than I was being able to paint them, and so I'd get say a box, you get 10 miniatures. I was behind by 10 minutes. It was just a constant cycle of just I wasn't able to paint them, and I just kind of got out of it, just because I've still kept a couple. I mostly sold the ones that I either primed and just didn't paint over, or just was still in the box. But I've kept a fair bit. I wouldn't be able to grab one just because it's behind somewhere. But I've got a massive knight armor mech thing that I'll probably show off one of these streams. But I've got him. He's pretty cool. But my main factions that I used to collect. So I used to do Space Marines. Then I changed to Blood Angels. So Blood Angels are literally just red Space Marines, but there's a bit more of a backstory there. But one, I forgot, and two, I won't get into it. Yeah. And then also my favorite, because they're my favorite kind of I don't know, villain, because they're mostly portrayed as villains and they're kind of monsters or whatever. But my favorite is orcs. So I used to have a load of orcs. So I had a load of orcs, and I've kept a couple still. But if Joy Toy, because I'm from what they look like and what you're showing off, they do look like they've just grabbed the miniature and been able to just put it in figure form, because I know that before Joy Toy was a thing, they made action figures, but they were way bigger, and it was the thing of they only made they made one character per faction, so they had one orc, one Space Marine, one whatever. But this one seems like they're making multiple of like certain factions, and also they had a thing where like they had like figures you could buy them like colored, but you could also buy them grayed out, and you can like actually paint it yourself, which is kind of cool. But like speaking on the Joy Toy thing, is this figure does it very good, and I probably won't be getting it, but I'd say that if they made any orcs or any like blood angels or stuff like that, I'd say the line would entice me anymore or some more. But like if you're like wanting to get into Warhammer but don't want to spend like a shit ton of money on the miniatures, definitely go for the figures, because like you could probably get at least like a handful of figures for. Oh, I didn't realize it was that much.
Well,
Maybe
I think
maybe I speak differently.
Oh Lord.
I mean, I think, they do the kind of like scaling of size with these Warhammer, like especially because this is more of a dreadnought, so it's a bit bigger, because I think it shows on here how big it is. It doesn't show like in comparison, but it is like 20, I guess like 30 centimeters if you want to
Oh
rough
yeah,
it
a
up.
normal like Space Marine is like that big.
Mm. So let's see. So they do have Blood Angels. This is Sanguinus. He's the Primarch. So not Primarch the shop. But they do have. So yeah, I mean there is definitely pricing of like, if you want to get the Primarchs, they're going to be this much. But I know for a fact, like the smaller characters or the ones in the sort of, let me just filter out. So you said, what was it? I had it. What was it? Blood Angels, right? Blood Angels. Oh, here we go. So they do have other Blood Angels in that scale. I mean, they do have some. I know they do sell these like packs or single release Ultramarines, or like the normal soldiers, which are about like, I guess, usually £30. Obviously here it's 38.49. So, and these like I've got the Iron Warriors, they're actually quite good, and I think anyway, good amount of accessories, got a stand and everything. It's a fun line. It's just
Yeah.
it is definitely like when you get into it.
I was gonna like say to people who are watching, if you're not like into Warhammer or know of Warhammer, like to get into the separate things. So Warhammer is split into two different like sides basically. They're not like going against each other, but it's more so just like you have one that's more sci-fi, so Warhammer 40,000, which is your Space Marines, this Dreadnought for example, and it's more like it's basically, to explain it like simply, it's basically a load of Master Chiefs walking around. That's
Yeah.
basically what they are. They're like, I think within the lore they're like 10-foot people that are these like proper soldiers, like proper men kind of things, and they're in these suits of armor, and they're like taking out like all bunch of like certain stuff. Like for instance, there's like 10-foot basically xenomorphs, like 10-foot xenomorphs that they're fighting called the Tyranids and certain stuff. I won't get into a lot of stuff because I can go on a massive tangent about this. But like they're fighting like many factions and load of stuff. And then on the other side, so which is the figure that Z-Man bought for MCM, is certain guy, I can't remember the character's name, but he's on the Age of Sigmar side.
Yeah.
And so
Hendrik.
Age of Sigmar's your more, what was that?
Hendrik from the Black Talons.
That's it. So Hendrik from Black Talons is a faction in Age of Sigmar, and Age of Sigmar is your more fantasy. So you've got like people more in like, they're like knighty kind of armor. They're more like gold and more royal, and they're fighting like ghouls, and there's like dwarves, and there's also orcs in like that side, but there's it's way different to the 40,000 orcs. But like Age of Sigmar is more fantasy, so you have like griffins and a whole bunch of just more fantasy stuff. But that's basically where they like split the two. And of course, this figure is more so on the 40,000 side because it's more mechanical, and
Yeah.
so like, but they've got like numerous of each lines, and they feel, and
Yeah.
from what I've seen, it seems like they're gonna keep going until like just till whenever, to be honest. So I would definitely like hop on if you haven't already.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, I've seen these around in Forbidden Planet, and I was like, "Ooh, maybe." And then I saw this guy on discount, and I was like, "I got some money. Let me just get one." And now I'm in love. But here's like, so like they do like more the simple versions of the kind of like the Space Marines. So you can. It's a whole rainbow of Space Marines. I'd recommend, if you wanted to get into it, look at the lore of each faction, because then you can be like, oh yeah, I didn't personally, and then I found out, oh my god, the Iron Warriors, they're like, these kind of like methodical, kind of like, we do all the work but we never get the credit, and then they became like a traitor to the empire and that stuff, which I was like, I didn't even know that before I picked him up. I just was like, he looked cool. Sometimes it's the case where you just like how they look, so it's the case sometimes like that. But anyway, we've been talking a lot about the Warhammer. I know, Ashwan, you said not getting this one, but you'll be keeping an eye on Joy Toy. Zion, what about you? Would you be interested in like getting the smaller ones first, or getting into this, or you kind of like, nah, nothing?
Yeah. Right now it's a pass. I'm not sure if I'll be like into like this line and just this scale, because I know nothing about it. But if I'm curious, I'll probably like do some research and then like see what's it about, and then after that I'll probably like make a decision if I want to like purchase one or not. But thinking about the prices,
Yeah, definitely. The bigger ones are going to be like the ones where I'm like, I'm taking it slowly. I'm going just by one faction so far, although I do have the Age of Sigmar, so that's definitely a contradiction already to the rule. I'm already breaking rules anyway, but I promise to only stick with this legion, so I know there's only a few soldiers, like different types. So there's another one of this, but with like a banner, and then so on and so forth. Anyway, let's move on from the Warhammer stuff. But to check the chat, we have Dan Who Reviews lurking. He's lurking. If he wants to find his Robin, I have it. I'm joking. I didn't steal. And then we have Scotty Toys. I remember these. A big rabbit hole go down. Yeah, definitely. I didn't expect all this lore from Warhammer, and now I'm kind of obsessed. But Kiana leaves. Skittles, baby, taste the rainbow. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like, when I looked at the website and I was like, oh boy, you got red metallic ones, blue metallic, strawberry flavor kind of thing. So it's definitely like, it's not like Power Rangers where it's like kind of like that, but it's just, hey, we got reuse. This is how we do it. Anyway, let's move on from Warhammer to another kind of like mystic side. So we do have this Master Universe movies Origins Scale Knight or Scalar Knight. So they've done this in the like more kiddie line or like the basic line, but it seems like they're also doing it for Origins. So this is an army builder for Skeletors, kind of like warriors and that stuff. And you've got like a different head choice, and they say removable armor. So if you haven't gotten an Origins, there you go. But I just thought this looked cool. But I know both of you don't collect Motu or even Motu Origins, so I guess this is a pass on this. Yeah, there you go. Just to check the chat, we have Justin collects, but he says, sorry, can't stay, fellas, but I wanted to drop in and show some love. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Justin. We'll move swiftly from this Skeller Knight to some pre-orders. Oh, no, we're not going to that. again, Warhammer. But go into Power Rangers. Now, this is from Flame Toys, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Furai figures. Now, for those who don't know, these are model kit figures where you have to build them, but they are about 5.11 inches, and it's the whole team. So you got blue, pink, red, yellow, and black. It seems like it won't be the Super Sentai version, because with the Super Sentai version, yellow is a male, but obviously for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, yellow was a female, so they're going for that look. So that's pretty cool. I mean, we are kind of starved of Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures. Am I right? I mean, it's not like a company is doing Zords or flip head figures. I mean, but if you wanted more articulated figures, this is your kind of like a potential step in. But let's see what they have. So each figure's got hand accessories, weapons, and the unique weapon. And, you know, there you go. Red. We got pink. We got blue. Oh, so that's all of them. They don't have green yet, but seems like if this is a successful, they might do green. But yeah, what do you guys think? Have you gotten any Power Ranger figures, or are you kind of missing some and want to add some to your collection?
For me, it's like, because I do love Power Rangers a lot. Like, I think I was talking to, I can't remember if it was you or Dan Hayden at MCM, but I remember like we were just randomly talking about Power Rangers, and like one of my favorites is Mighty Morphin, and then I love the Samurai a lot.
Okay.
Because that came out near enough when I was growing up, and so I like that one a lot. But I just love the Mighty Morphin lineup. Like, of course, my favorite color is red, so always 9 times out of 10, the Red Ranger is going to be my favorite. So like, I like Jason in this like very much, and I would get these figures, but it's the fact that it's a model kit, and me and Blockies don't really work well together, so I don't know if this would work well together. But if I were to get Power Rangers figures, which I may do at some point, I would probably backtrack and maybe get the Lightning Collection ones, because I'm pretty sure they've done the full Mighty Morphin stuff, and so
Yeah.
I'd probably like backtrack with them and just go and try and I don't know like the prices. I don't know if they're like fairly high now, but I'd try and get them basically.
Yeah. And shout out Compulsive Collector, John. He's here. Hope John's doing well. But he goes, did Justin just leave right before the Power Rangers talk? Yeah, I know. He really is the worst. And then we have Alexi. He's a low-key person. So for us, it's like great. I mean, are they busting? Yeah, I mean, I like the aesthetic model kits, fun. But Zion, what about you? Would you be picking up this low-key blessing Power Rangers set, or you kind of this is kind of like, it's kind of ass kind of thing?
Similar to what Ashwan said about being like a model kit. Yeah, me and model kits don't really like mix unless it's like Transformers. So like if I would want to get Power Rangers, because I do like Power Rangers. I grew up watching them on TV, and so if I like choose to get them, then it'll be like from another company who like do like the figures more in like the style that I am like collecting them in.
Yeah,
and not having to build them.
Yeah, I know the building process is not for a lot of people, because it is like tedious to like build the joints, and then your hands definitely ache. I can tell from experience. Like, and you know, Ashwan, he knows from experience as well. So yeah, no, I mean, let's see. I mean, this is a good like way of getting action figures. They do the Zords. Okay, so it's not a set; it's individually, and they are priced at $51.99. Boy, that kind of sours the opinion. I thought it was a set, But
I don't know about that.
yeah, I mean, look at this Zord price. $419.99. Might as well just say it's 500 or 420. But it seems like it's the whole Zord and that. This is a set, but that's too expensive. Anyway, let's move away from the Power Rangers as quickly as Justin did before they showed up on the stream. So we move on from Power Rangers. And we go into Storm Collectibles. Now, they have just recently put their pre-order for the Storm Collectibles Final Fight 1/12 scale Mike Hagar. Now, sometimes they've kind of like recently pop on some of the Storm collectible figures, as those are the bigger scale ones. They've now changed it where it says 1/10. But it seems like with this one, they've put back the whole 1/12 scale. And I think there might be a reason, because as you can see, this is Mike Hagar from Final Fight. He is a big dude in the game. So I think this might be the case that he would scale with your Storm Arena figures, which are more of the 1/12 scale. Because you can see he's more of like, they're not using that material that they use on the Storm collectible figures. But I mean, this is a pretty cool like figure to add to, if you wanted to add to your Street Fighter collection, both Jada or Storm collectibles. This is a way to go, and he looks really good and like proper accurate. And I might get this because I think that it's weird that we don't have a proper line of 1/12 Final Fight figures, as they are very close in the Street Fighter canon, as it was this game, and then I think it was Street Fighter 2, and then it was this, or it was Street Fighter 1, then Final Fight, and then Street Fighter 2. But you can see here, there's the Cody figure, not Cody Rhodes. No, that's separate. But yeah, let me see what. And I love this. This is actually from the game. If you got like killed in the game, or like if you run out of lives, it would go onto this continue screen where you have this dynamite and it's slowly like ready to explode, and you just got the character chained up, and then if you don't press continue, you guys gone. Game over. But if you continue, add the quarters in and whatnot, then you continue. But pretty cool to add this as like a display piece. And I know some crazy people in the collector world will probably use this space for something else, but let's not go there. But yeah, it doesn't show the full set of accessory. I mean, this does. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 heads. You got a barrel, multiple hands, a real metal chain, probably like a metal bar, and then dynamite. But yeah, what about you? Would you guys be interested in this? I know it's Keanu leaves with a great comment. Tits out, my guy. Come on, Keanu leaves. I mean, we've never said this is a kid-friendly show, so don't worry. We're all adults here, right? Right? No, we're Gen Z, young. Yeah, what do you guys think of this Storm Collectibles figure? Would you be picking it up as just like get a buff guy on your display?
For me personally, I won't, just because like, I know this ties into Street Fighter. It's not really, it's kind of separate. But like, if I was to get these type of figures, or just like Street Fighter in general, I have the Jada stuff, and I haven't ever bought any Storm collectibles or Storm Arena, more so just because, like I was saying, with the Mortal Kombat, the price, and also like because I have the Jada Street Fighter stuff, I haven't like bought any more than Guile, Chun-Li, and Ryu. But like, if I was to continue, I'm just gonna buy the Jada stuff, I'm not gonna delve into any other new toy lines. I know I said 2026 is the start of new toy lines for Ashwan Toothbone Comics, but not of the same brand. So,
Right.
but that's what I'll say that for starters. Like, I'm not gonna delve into Storm collectibles or anything. But like, I don't know what he looks like in the game, but like Keanu Reeves said, yeah, he's got his boobies out. So like, if like Z-Man was saying, if you want a man with his boobies out on your shelf, then go ahead, buy him if you want. So yeah.
Well, that's different service. Like Alexi says, Hagar was a beast in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He indeed was, and this is pretty much his look for his entire until he gets like a suit when he becomes president, or mayor. I think it's mayor Mike Hagar, not president. Let's not get that wrong. But yeah, Zion, what about you? Will you be picking this up, or is this a straight up pass? Or
Yeah. Yes, it's straight up pass. Yeah. Yeah, because like the Storm Arena stuff, I don't have no figures from it, and this would seem like not like a starter figure, just to get like from the line. And for now, yeah, I'll just pass on it, and plus I don't have like the Street Fighter stuff, so even if I do decide to get this, it'll just be like alone on the shelf, but like no one else.
I mean, you can always just have a buff guy on your display, just being there, and plus, the barrel. Don't forget the barrel and the metal chain. That could be definitely useful for, some shots, some photography.
Well, the Straw Hat Party Crew comes with the barrel.
So you will have to go for this one just to get the barrel. But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, it is very a niche, kind of like Final Fight being very niche to like the fighting game genre, because it's more of like a beat 'em up scroller type of situation. So it's like and they've not had like a new game, like their own game. They kind of invaded Street Fighter, like especially in Street Fighter Alpha, which Jada will be doing the figures of. Cody and Guy from this universe or this game show up in that, and then eventually in like Street Fighter 6, like you have a big statue of this guy in the city because he was the mayor of was it? I think it was like Mad Gear City or something like that. I still forget, but like I think it's so cool that they're doing this. I kind of wanted Jada to go first to this instead of going Street Fighter Alpha, or at least go to Street Fighter 1 and give us those kind of characters. But at least this is world building. So it may be I might have to get this just to be like, oh yeah, I can put him in. The same with the Jada stuff. But it's seeming like I might get into the Storm stuff. Yeah, it's not great price. I mean, I think that's an okay price for Storm collectibles. It could be higher. I mean, both me and Ashwan saw how much they were charging Mortal Kombat stuff at MCM. Oof, too much. But anyway, we move on from the Final Fight Storm collectible stuff to something that I know Zion and now Ashwan will be very interested in. We have Tamashii Nations. Now, they tease a next SH Figure Arts One Piece, the Straw Hat Crew series figure. So here is the current roster that they do have in the SH Figure Arts line. I know Ashwan has now the Monkey D. Luffy, and I know Zion has pretty much all of them. I think you also have Tony
Not
the
yet.
Chopper.
Not
yet?
He just released like this week.
Oh, okay.
In Japan.
That's good. Okay, so that means you will have him soon.
Yes.
But yeah, this is definitely, it's good to see this line is actually, because I didn't know if he'd been released yet. So it's clear like he's basically in the waters, if you say. I mean, he's on sale, not sale the SALE version. No, as in like ship sail. Yeah, in the waters. Pirate jokes. Meh. But anyway, like, who do you think will be the next character in the Straw Hat crew? We'll start with Ashwan. What are your thoughts? Who do you think will be this mystery character?
Well, so I was talking to Zion before the stream about this, and we were getting like excited about it. And I personally think, and I wouldn't mind it as well, just because we've already got one female in the crew. Who's to say we can't have a second? And so that would be Nico Robin.
Ooh, is that
So,
because she's a very well gifted, or is it because she's in season 2? Synergy or ooh.
not the first reason, Z man. I just want another SH figure arts person.
There you go.
But
Okay.
behind the scenes, yes. Behind the scenes, yes.
But officially, no. For adding
Yeah.
more members. Yeah. I mean, Nico Robin would be cool. It might. I do want One Piece figures, but I'm not sure. I mean, we did see some of the live action figures of the SH Figure Arts, and I was like, ooh, I don't know. Do I go for that? Ooh, who knows? But what about you, Zion? As you have almost got the whole crew waiting for Tony Chopper, and you're like, okay, they could add so many characters. Who do you want? Is it going to be the same character, or are you going to go?
with the what in this part of the story with the bounty of 79 million berries, it will be Miss All Sunday, Nico Robin, because they can either have it with 2 outfits, because the color scheme is like purple, so we already know it won't be her outfits from like Annie's Lobby or from like, and they wouldn't do Thriller Bark this early, so it's either gonna be her Miss All Sunday look from Alabasta, or her like look in Skypea / Jaya, because them two have like that purple thing, and they're her most like iconic looks. And I would prefer those looks like a lot of reasons, but I'll prefer like their looking the Jaya Skypea arc over the Miss All Sunday, because Miss All Sunday was like more of like her like villain persona before she joined the crew, and that would go well with like the crocodile more than it would with the Straw Hats. So I'm hoping this like her like Skypea fit with like the cowboy hat and then like purple like shirt and purple pants and all that, because that would fit more with the crew, and it's still like one of her more like iconic looks from the pre-time skip. And I'm glad that to see how like they're still going on the trend, like doing the crew in the order where they joined. Like first we had Luffy, Zoro, and then now Chopper just released, so next is Robin, and then I'm hoping not too far after we get Frankie and Brooke.
I was thinking, because my knowledge is of the Netflix show, I was like, what about what was it?
Vivi?
Yeah, Vivi. Because she does technically join them, but not officially.
She's like a I forgot the word for it, but like temporary member.
Oh yeah, like an honorary member who was there for a bit and then kind of like
There's like a few of those in the story.
Yeah,
there's more complementary members like post time skip. Like it would get people who like be there for like a couple sagas, and then they the problem gets solved, so they go back to their lives. Yeah, Vivi is like the main one, like the pre-time skip era.
Okay, yeah. So then it most likely will be Nico Robin. I was thinking it was going to be the skeleton in the suit guy. Yeah, Brooke. Yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, but then again, like you said, if they're going by when they joined, he'd be later So
We still gotta
I
get
feel
Frankie
like,
before we get broke.
yeah. So I feel like we've cracked this case of like who will be the next reveal, unless we're all wrong and it's someone completely different. Like maybe they give us Frankie, but who knows? Who
I don't
knows?
think he'll be in this costume.
Exactly. But we
Frankie, I am curious to see how they're gonna do that figure. Because
mm,
like Brooke, we seen a lot of like skeleton figures, but Frankie's like
yeah.
a cyborg, so it's like, what can they do with that?
Mm. And is it like the case of like his kind of balancing because he's
His proportions.
yeah, exactly, proportions. And you know, I think usually SH figure arts are okay with that, like with the kind of more wild balancy kind of like weird balance characters, but who knows? But Flight Toys just ordered the green and white Power Rangers from the Lightning Collection, Mighty Morphin Hasbro. So you can ask Ashwan about prices and that stuff because you never know. Ashwan might collect a new line or an
Hmm.
old line, but a new line in the display. But anyway, yeah. So obviously we don't know when the reveal for this will be, but seems like it will be soon. I mean, judging by how like literally Tony Chopper is coming soon, or he's released in Japan and he's on the way to like other retailers and that stuff. It could be like once he's like officially released, then they'll reveal the second character, or maybe San Diego Comic Con. Who knows? But yeah, so this is I know you two will be definitely picking whoever the character is. Definitely has to be Nico Robin, but but yeah. So we move from the greatness of Tamashii Nations and the weeb shit. We move away to some McFarlane toys. You know, we have to. Come on, McFarlane. And before we get to the McFarlane, there was this glow in the dark Jada Toys Blanca, but I know it's a variant. It's weird. It's strange. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't think any of you guys interested because it's just that it's a variant. Anyway, just so we acknowledged he's there, he's there. But just today, we were going to be McFarlane free of this entire, stream. But last minute he goes in with like an uppercut, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still kicking, and I'm here to reveal some okay figures." But this is, of course, part of the superpowers line that he's been continuing to do, and he's now partnered up with Entertainment Earth, so it seems like it's going to be a partnership with them. Let me just check the chat. We've got Alexi goes, glad I don't One Piece because getting all these would be a hassle. I'm good with my JJK stuff. I mean, JJK is also a hassle because sometimes they only release one version of a character, and he's crazy expensive. So
What's the hassle is the Dragon Ball line.
any weeb shit is a hassle. I mean, the JoJo stuff, it's like they only doing of the main characters, none of the like part specific characters, no villains. That feels like a weird line. Anyway, we also have another Gen Z or Gen Z member here. We've got Mr. Mikasa. Hello there, fellow Gen Zers. Hello there. Are you having a bussing evening, as Alexi said it last time? I don't want to put that in our lyric. I mean, it is kind of like with Gen Z. The tone on Blanca kind of works better than the actual. Yeah, I've seen that. Because technically you can just use it as a normal Blanca, but I love how we're not talking about the main issue here, but as Compulsive Collector goes, weeb shit to McFarlane. You can just tell me to leave. Don't worry, this will be quick because it's only this reveal. So we've obviously got Supergirl, synergy to the Supergirl movie that's coming soon, but obviously it's just a classic Supergirl. We've got Hal Jordan from like the Death and Return of Superman. So he's graying, he's old, he's getting old. Then we have Eradicator Superman and Cyborg Superman from the Reign of Superman, which I might have to get. Always, I have to get the Death and Return of Superman. Not my favorite storyline, but just favorite characters introduced. Anyway, and then what looks like a Tim Drake Robin, but it's not. It's Dick Grayson, only Dick Grayson. It's his Earth 2 look when he's more of an adult, and he's still stuck with being Robin, but he was like, yeah, no, I needed to make sure I had pants. So I think this costume kind of like paved the way for Tim Drake's awesome costume with the pants and everything, making it look cool. Anyway, and then we have Power Girl, which I'm assuming this is supposed to be like her later on looks, not the boob window that she's known for. But then again, I don't know if McFarlane would do that because I mean they did do it in the main line, so I cannot fault him for that. So if you wanted the boob window, maybe you'll get in the superpowers. But yeah, as Alexi says, that figure is pants, mate. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, there we go. We just had to acknowledge McFarlane exists. You know, soon the DC stuff will be gone. I'm not sure if he will still be doing like these like on-off like superpowers and the super friends because they're not. I don't know if he's just completely losing the DC license. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back John before he goes away because we showed Weeb Shit and McFarlane, and we move on to something maybe. I mean, this is Big Bad Workshop, Long Box, Heroes, Prestige, Madman. Now, Madman is more of like a indie kind of hero or character from Mike Alfred or Alred. I said Alfred because I've been playing Lego Batman too much. But so far in the Long Box Heroes Prestige line from Big Bad Workshop, so the people who do Operation Monster Force and Crimson Moon, they have released or they have put on for order or pre-order the Tick. So we did see this like the kind of like renders slash the grayscale prototype of Madman. So now we finally get the pre-order for him, which he will be coming with different looks. So he does have the first look, which is more of his hair like short and swept like that. But then you also have his more longer hair look. And then let's see so then he comes with a gun, which has this really cool like shooting effect. I know these two are not the actual effect, but it's that one, that small one there. Then he also comes with another head where he looks like he's just he zipped his mouth shut, and he comes with this effect piece. I see. You can probably tell I don't know too much of Madman. I know of the character, because the legendary comic book heroes line did him and a bunch of other characters. But here's the full loadout. He even comes with a guitar, so maybe you pick this up and put him on your like music characters if you wanted to. You can put him with the disco. What's the Marvel Legends character?
Hypno Hustler.
Hypno Hustler. There you go. I said disco. It was Hypno.
and,
but
and Dazzler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can pair him up with a lot of musical and have like a band display. I'm trying to put it in there, but yeah. So this is now on pre-order. But what do you guys think? I know there's a bit of like, I know Ashwan, you've been looking into the Big Bad Workshop stuff, so mainly the Crimson Moon, and you were almost tempted on that Bulletproof figure, but good you didn't go for it. I mean, it's a good figure. It's just that you need to know where you put it on your display. I'm pretty much just putting a lot of the Big Bag Workshop stuff on its own display, but eventually it could change, especially with this, like with the Long Box Heroes. I feel like I'm going to put them on my more indie display where it's like different companies, different franchises, like, Grendel or, those characters. But yeah, what do you guys think of this figure? Will you be interested in picking this up just because he looks pretty fun and he's got a guitar? Or is this I don't really care, what is this? Get this out of my face.
Personally, for me, I think this figure looks really cool, and like like you were saying about me with Operation Monster Force, like I was like tempted by some of their stuff at the MCM. Like they had the Chatsworth, but that was fairly pricey, and so of course passed. And then they had, like you said, the bulletproof, and I was gonna get him just so like I know what to expect from their figures. But I kind of just forgot about it, and also I didn't really know, even though like I would have just done the same thing like you did, where when I get more Operation Monster Force, I would have just fudged him into all that. But like I may get him at some point, anyways. But like from when you first show off this, like when you first show the picture, I was like, right, I think I'm gonna have to get this. I don't know why. I don't have a connection to the character. Like, to be fair though, I did think like whilst you were talking about it, it gives me a reason to read the comic book. So, like, I was like more so thinking just because I don't really know the character too well. I can't remember if you said, but there's another one that got shown before.
Yes. Let me get the picture. So far, there's only two in the line. So this is Madman, who has now been put up on pre-order. But if I go to the Big Bad Workshop, they do have here the long box Heroes Prestige, the Tick. So if you know the Tick from the old, he's a big guy. The Tick. If you've seen the Amazon show, it's a pretty good show. But there's also a cartoon. But he is originally a comic figure or comic character. So I think this is where this line is doing. It's mostly doing comic based looks rather than like the show. So this is very much a blank guy with a big boy kind of thing. But yeah, so far it's only been him and Madman. But yeah.
Like I've pre-ordered to Operation Monster Force. Like, so if you're in the chat and you know of most recent Operation Monster Force pre-orders, then you may know two of the people that have pre-ordered. I won't talk about it until I get them in hand, just because I want to keep it somewhat of a mystery. But I pre-ordered two of them. I'm probably gonna they'll be my starting point to get into the line and just get into Big Bad Workshop figures. Hence why I'm probably gonna get this, just because I like how they go about figures and just like the posability, the accessories you get, even though like you're paying 30 to 40 quid, it makes sense because of how much stuff you get and how like highly detailed the figures are, and like this, that, and the other. Like for instance, Operation Monster Force, they average 30 to 40 quid, but you get a lot of accessories. Like especially most of like the army people, you'll get like 4 different iterations of just one like helmet, and so like it makes sense. But the main like thing for me is because like I haven't really done pre-orders through Big Bad Workshop before, and so or Big Bad Toy Store, and so like I don't really know if I want to or just how to go about it. So if they end up going to Kapow, then I will probably get them more so. But if not, then I may just try find a way to do it on here.
Yeah. I mean, I will help you if you need to navigate the Big Bad Toy Store kind of thing store, because usually when you pre-order them, you don't have to immediately pay. You can just do the pre-order, and then when it says, oh, it's starting to ship, then they'll send you an email. So if you feel like, oh, I don't want to get it now, you can always cancel it. But I think that's one of the good things about Big Bad Toy Store. You can just pre-order and worry until you don't have to worry until it's actually shipped. Then if you want to get it. Scotty Toys does say that they're on Kapow Toys pre-order. So there you go. Thank you, Scotty Toys. I will also check we have Mr. McCarter going, damn straight, I'm having a bussin' evening on God. Us Gen Zers are still jits for real, no cap. man like Zion, a science big brain, future entrepreneur. And then he goes, I'm 21 and I'm already outdated of words used these days. That's my best attempt. Don't worry. And and we have Keanu Reeves adding in, bro, you're a madman. I mean, we will be mad once we pre-order this because yeah. But what do you think, Zion? Would you be tempted to pick this up just to be like, oh, I'm curious? Like, he's pretty much a chill guy. Just a chill guy, bro.
Nonchalant, just gonna be ore farming.
Exactly.
He looks cool, and I'll definitely like keep an eye on it. And then in a while I'll see like, do I still want it? And then if I still want it, I'll probably like put it in the cart. Then get it.
Fair enough. See, I've got two people on this. Woohoo! Yeah, baby.
But not surely yet.
Oh, that's true. That's
You
true.
won't be sure until we have it in our hands.
Exactly. Who knows? But yeah, if you guys want to pick this up you can find it on Big Bad Toy Store, and like Sweaty Toys said, you can check it on Kapow. But we move away from all the goodness. I mean, it is goodness. All toy news is good, even if it's McFarlane. Now we kind of go to like the main topic of like Mattel and Marvel. So we'll start off. We obviously had a Marvel stream Monday, so of course there were reveals for their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive stuff. So right off the bat, we have the Future Foundation 2-pack of Invisible Woman and The Thing. So yeah, we had these two revealed along with, well, I think let's just go from these two. Well, actually, no, let's go through the whole team because you can't just separate them, even though they will be available in 2-packs, each 2-packs. So if you want to complete the team, you gotta get both 2-pack. But obviously, you got Invisible Woman in the all new kind of like, well, more modern articulated female body with the kind of like pinless, and she's got different hand effects. She got invisible balls. Well, they are visible, but she's got balls. Then you've got Thing with a new overlay chest of like a tank top, and then like more of a new kind of tights and boots, sort of like legs. Because so far in the Legends line, we've only got Thing in his shorts. So this is definitely a good way to start off. We've got him in this look, and then potentially there's reuse. But before we get into that discussion, the other 2-pack that was revealed was the Future Foundation Spider-Man and Mr. Fantastic. And this Spider-Man is not the first time they've done the Future Foundation from Hasbro Legends. They did do it in the Dark Days or even Toy Biz, I can't remember, but it was on that really bad, big time let down body. But they did kind of recently, they did the inverted colors of the Spider-Man where it was the black and white rather than the white and black that this figure is, but that had pins and anyway, which wouldn't fit this kind of look. But you've got him all pinless with the toe articulation. Then we've got Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and he's got, definitely looks pinless, and he's got these kind of like more buff arms, as well as finally, well, he still includes the salad fingers, as Dan Who would put it, but he also comes with nice long bendy wire hands or arms that you can pop on and off. But yeah, that is the entire team of the Future Foundation. I know we all talked about this in separate streams, but what your like quick thoughts on finally getting the Future Foundation, because it kind of works well with Dragon Man if you've got him. But is this a team you actually like, or is this a meh? Like, is there going to be a theme to these reveals?
For me, I'm like really happy just because we've been wanting this for a fair bit since getting like Fantastic Four costume iterations, and like it was bound to happen at some point. Like these for me are gonna be a pickup. They wouldn't be an instant. I may just wait on it a little bit and just like see what it ends up staying like, just because I've been pre-ordering some other stuff. Like I won't pre-order it basically. I may just wait, but very good. And of course I have like Dragon Man, so probably gonna put them maybe together or just have them in a little thing. But I'm like also really happy about this because it then maybe gives them a reason to give us updated of the classic outfit. And so like because like they've changed the bodies up, they give them more like updated articulation. It's just, I think at least just like re-put them out with different costumes, just because like it's the most easiest thing to do whenever like they make like new figures in a way, just because just the like at least I'm thinking on their standpoint, they're thinking, oh okay, we could easily get a re-release out of this, that and the other. So like that's what I'm really excited for, more so than like these costumes. But good to have them in the line, and definitely gonna pick them up.
Very well said. Very well said. What about you, Zion? Is this a pickup or no? Get away from me! Hey.
For me, not currently, because even though I don't have a Fantastic Four team, I want my team to be like the classic, like blue and black suits before I get any like alternate looks for them. And I would like to, they can use these same bodies for the classic theme. And Hasbro, they like repaints and reuse. So it won't be long until we get like the classic team. And even if they reveal like the team like blue and white, I'll still get it. Just to stand like a team on the shelf. Because Fantastic Four is like severely missing in my Marvel display.
Yeah, I mean, it feels strange that they did the movie stuff, which had been like, I think that was kind of like the precursor of like, we can actually do more, because that Mr. Fantastic had the bendy arms, like that we'd all been wanting for the other figures, where they, Reed has only had the kind of like weird, touchy-feely salad
fork fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Which I technically have on my display, kind of him like that, but it's more of like to kind of show he's stretching, but it's more it still isn't great. It's just hands doing that, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, for me, I don't care for the suits. It's the like, I think it's like, also timing of like them doing this as one of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. It's like, definitely this is an interesting like exclusive as a whole team.
What is like normal retails, not the exclusives?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like a normal release.
Oh, see, my understanding, this was the exclusive. Never mind. Oh yeah, I'm wrong. Oh no, I'm wrong. No, I'm joking. I knew I was waiting for someone to correct me. No. But in terms of just this being a release, I think it's definitely good to get, like, they've done this with the whole, Inhumans, where they've done 2-packs to kind of like get the team done. Although would love Karnak to be redone, not in the Pizza Spidey body that he was done in a wave very like previously, like recently, in the sense it's not like, it was ages ago. It was quite, like soonish, or like it was like, just a few months ago or a year, and he was still using that Pizza Spider body, which is like very outdated. But it's good to see, like with Reed, he's got new legs, new like normal arms, which look a bit buff on him. But I think that's fair enough, like, because they have to have the same torso, because that's how it does the whole arm popping off, which is fine. The Reed head looks similar to the ones that we've had, but obviously now it's the new Phototech kind of thing. But Yeah. For me, it's not the team I want, but I think like we've all said, it means that we can get the other teams done. And I in one hand, I think agree with Zion. I want the blue and black looks first. Ashwan, are you team blue and black or team blue and white, like they've done in the retro card?
Um, I'd say just because it's more original, the black and blue, the like first ones, but and also just because they're the ones that need to get re-released. The blue and white, you could like maybe a little bit, but they're not that outdated that you could just put them in.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I feel like if they did the blue and white, it'd be very too soon. I feel like maybe later, but then again, because then you at least give the people who have that retro card enough time to sell those, so that they can be like, okay, we know that eventually they will be doing this. I think. Do you agree it should be on the retro card again for these kind of like for the blue and white redos, as we'll say? Yeah,
Yeah, it's but it's also like it's also the thing of you could easily just fudge them in as two packs again, like they're doing with this.
yeah,
I know like one of the main reasons is like you're having you got like Spider Man in, so Spider Man's gonna sell like well,
mm,
but like I wouldn't mind it on the card back just because it'll be like a cool kind of thing. Just but at the same time, like it doesn't bother me if it's in a 2 pack, just because if it's on like a card back, then they're gonna practically look the same. Like they're
yeah,
not they're gonna look a bit different, but like they're gonna look somewhat the same. So if people like keep them on the card, then there's just gonna be kind of no point getting the first like having the first one
yeah.
just because it's gonna be like a kind of
There
weird
has
thing.
been, yeah, yeah, exactly. Because then you'll be like, why did I get the first one? And that first one has no value. But just because we were talking about card backs, I was like, oh, maybe they do the blue and white team. Although it's kind of weird because not all of them appeared in that storyline, but Secret Wars they did show up in that in the event, so maybe they did it that way. So like you get a single pack release of Reed Richards, but he's in the blue and white. But then it's like with that, I can't. One of the things about this like Mr. Fantastic, I think, hooray, we're finally getting bendy arms. I think the next step is kind of like maybe the bendy legs, kind of like how Jada does the Dalsum, like how you get both arms stretched, legs stretched, and then potentially torso. I feel like then we can fully get a stretchable Reed Richards to like
Maximum Mr. Fantastic.
yeah, I mean that I feel like that probably would be the route they would go for instead of put it on a single or a 2-pack release. But then again, it's like if they did that, it'd be so strange. The whole maximum line is because if you do it that way, then you limit on like the character costumes. Because then apparently, with the maximum line, they say they don't reuse the same body types on the main line figures. And so far, we haven't seen that. But then, would they do that if they did it with a Fantastic Four? Then you're like, oh no, that's not. It's definitely like a weird thing because like this definitely puts up the whole. We can definitely reuse the like, especially the 3. I don't know if they'd put Human Torch on the Spider-Man body because I don't. He's that posable. But yeah. Well, it's definitely oh cool, we're improving, but then again it's like you're gonna have to like now those black and the blue and white figures are outdated, so it's the case of do I sell those now before they even announce a new one, or can I still keep them as my Fantastic Four display, or keep them because I like those looks. It's definitely like once you get a new updated body and accessories and that stuff, it does kind of like weigh down on the previous releases. Like, you know, with every Spider-Man, there's been an upgrade, especially like if you go from Pizza Spidey to the Sunfire body, then to, you know,
Renew your vows and Mystic Fantasy.
yeah, exactly. And then you also got the retro card version, and then you've got the maximum one. And I feel like, you know, I think one of the things is like having the right body straight away makes more sense than having to go through these loopholes of like, oh yeah, we'll get you to get another Spider-Man, but it's in a better body, kind of thing. And it's like there should be some consistency with the like a body of a character, unless you're going like, oh, age-wise, this is Spider-Man older, and then like, you know, Amazing Fantasy version is him when he debuted, so more like younger. So it's like those work, but we'll definitely talk about the Spider-Man issue that I have. But yeah, let me just check the chat. Mr. Makata goes, my balls are invisible too. I think you need to have that checked out. No, he goes, honestly, I like these Future Foundation Fantastic Four, but most likely won't end up getting them. I think that's a lot of the thing. I think everyone wants a different look. But then we have Damien Ristori. Shout out Damien. Good tidings all. All we need now is a few more classic Fantastic Four villains. Not asking for much. See, yeah, that is one of also the issues. We on the retro card that they've given us, they've not done much. Like, sure, we've gotten like characters like Psycho Man and High Evolutionary, and then Firelord. But I feel like that card has kind of died. Like, we've not got any more, you know, reveals or other characters. Like, I'm like, for sure, it's like we could have gotten a Silver Surfer on that card. We could have gotten Airwalker, who is another, you know, Herald of Galactus, and he was on. I think he was in the original toy line that they did for Fantastic Four cartoon. So I'm like, you have some Fantastic Four villains to do, but it seems like Marvel Legends they're taking their time to giving more character like villains for the Fantastic Four, because you can't really do a full display. And then, you know, Doom, it's the case of like, which Doom do you use and how hard is it to get the Doom? Because there was the retro card Doom, then we had the Cabal 3-pack Doom, which, you know, is stuck in a 3-pack and you can't army build that. Also a Doom bot. Come on, we need a Doom bot. Bring back your army builders. But yeah, and then as we were talking about the Inhumans, Damien goes Karnak and Maximus 2-pack would make sense. Yeah, exactly. Just to finish that whole Inhumans display. But yeah, we've talked long enough about the Future Foundation. And then we get this fun reveal from the Incredible Hulk sort of like subline that they're doing. So it seems we have got the release of 2099 Hulk. Now the pics do show that he's got pins on the legs, and you know, I know a lot of people didn't like this reveal. Well, I mean, look at that tongue, jeez. But and like, there's not a lot of fans of Hulk 2099. I think I am the only one who liked this, but it's definitely one of the cases of like the reuse, where like we definitely need to get a new Hulk body. But what do you like? Do you look at this Hulk and be like, oh, it's not like they're not doing more with the Hulk, like Hulk bodies, like in terms of articulation, or are you kind of like, this is fine, like this is fine as a figure, but I'm not picking this up? What are your thoughts?
For me, yeah, I get what you mean with the like body thing. Like, it is a bit annoying because like the legs are still pinned and they're not like pinless and certain stuff. But like, for me, I won't be picking this up, or if I do pick it up, just because I can already. I mean, of course, I don't know what the like how many people are going to buy this, but from what I can hear from multiple people that have seen this, it's probably going to go on sale. Like it's probably going to be on sale like later down the line. And if I do have like at some point, if I don't like, if I don't know, maybe buy another Spider-Man 2099, then maybe I may have a 2099 like little part of a shelf, maybe. But that would be the only reason why I'd get this, because I do like love Hulk, like he's one of my favorite characters. But at the same time, I don't have a connection to the comic book, and I just feel like this Hulk design just looks very odd. And like, because he like it looks like Hulk, but he just looks like he's he looks like he's the guitarist of Kiss, because he's got his tongue sticking out. But,
I mean, well said.
but like, it's just I won't personally be getting it, but I know there's some people that I know. Adam is happy with this because it's another Hulk, and I know like majority of people weren't too happy with this reveal, but at the end of the day, there's gonna be reveals that people aren't happy with, that people are happy with, and so like I just kind of just get past it and feel like I'm just like, right, go on to the next show, and maybe I get something that I want more so than this. But of course, there's someone out there who's gonna want it, so yeah.
Yeah. I think, one of the things about this Hulk line, obviously it's Hulk, but the fact that there's only one mainline Hulk in this sort of releases. So far, it's been Abomination, which it was a reuse of the Gamerverse Abomination, but now he has the comic head along with the other comic head, which is more of the Immortal Hulk run, which I still want to get, and I think it's going on clearance. So, I mean, there you go. Let me full screen that beauty. I want to get him. It's just
same.
Yeah, it's definitely a good size, and I like. There's a lot of people who were complaining about the reuse. I kind of agree because he's also pinned, right? He's not pinless.
His legs are pinned, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
I remember I saw Kenny's review on it.
Yeah, shout out Kenny, the culture. Which I think it's the case of like, one of my issues with obviously this whole kind of like with Marvel Legends in general, like because it's only Marvel Legends that still keep with the pins because of the reuses that they do. Like I know like reuse is good. And when we talk about Mattel, they're obviously doing some reuses and that stuff. But the fact that like with this, you can like, I think when you have a mixed display of pin and pinless, and the fact that they've not fully gone pinless in some cases, like definitely you can see like the newer figures are pinless, but then that is in like the newly sculpted. But with this release, it feels odd that we're still doing pinned figures, and it's not the only pinned figure in this subline. So it definitely feels odd to be, we're still doing pins in the Legends line. And, I think also the selection of this Hulk, like, sure, it's cool to have him, and I'm going to pick him up because I kind of like doing a future display of like different characters from different timelines, from like possible futures. But the fact that this could have taken the place of another character, like I think Damien was mentioning mentioning Madman, the character Madman, not the character we were talking about, but
yeah,
a Hulk villain called Madman, who's a madman who's like red. I think the case of this Hulk line, I wish we got more villains, like unique villains that have not been done in Legends form, but instead we're getting a very odd.
I want A-Bomb.
Yeah, exactly. See, like, they're definitely characters we want to see, like A-Bomb. I mean, they kind of alluded that the next release in this will not be the same box size, and everyone's thinking it's Doc Samson. He's he's like, everyone kind of wants him, and I think Damien said classic villain too, which is Madman. But in terms of a Hulk villain display, we don't have much apart from Abomination. Technically, you can go Absorbing Man,
Leader,
Leader.
Abomination, Red Hulk, Zorman, Wendigo, um,
Yeah.
Rhino can be in that thing too.
I mean,
Maestro,
yeah, Maestro. I feel like but he's more like a Hulk variant. Like like how there's so many Hulks, and
mm-hmm.
when we do get Hulks, I'm like, hey, yay, Hulk, because he's
Yeah,
such a deluxe offering. Kind of similar to how Thing is. He can be offered in a normal card, but then he's still deluxe. But with Hulk, I feel like we need more. Like we need the UFOs straight up. We need the
yeah.
UFOs villains. We need like
Ironclad, Vapor,
yeah,
Vector, and X-Ray.
exactly. But
Yeah,
like I know it wouldn't be possible in this kind of card, like in this subline of the Incredible Hulk. I think maybe if you want to go with a big guy, I think we've mentioned Madman. I'd also go with Bybeast, or
Zax.
start with Ironclad and then later on give us the UFOs. But it feels strange that the inconsistency of characters for this Incredible Hulk line. I would have actually gone with the Mecha Hulk, or as someone said, Spider Hulk figure, because the Spider Hulk kind of would have been like fun synergy to Spider-Man Brand New Day. But yeah, it definitely feels weird for like so far 2 reuses of old bodies, but with like different face, and especially with this guy different tongue and hands and everything, and then Abomination different head, and then you got one very cool Professor Hulk, and then obviously it's alluding that Doc Samson's next. I feel like there should be more love for Hulk villains in the Incredible Hulk line. But anyway, we've gone way too into this, but yeah, obviously pre-order May 21st, so it's already on pre-order. Then they briefly talked about the Punisher, which we already talked about anyway. So there we go. And then we get to the exclusive, which I think this has been kind of like the big contention of like what makes an exclusive when it's a major character for a team. And it was the Professor X. And this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I know this for sure. I mean, I already knew already that the Future Foundation wasn't exclusive. I was just being but with this, we did get the reveal of the mystery base that I had predicted right. I know some people will say that, a lot of people predicted right, but I said it straight away when I showed the backside of the Professor X chair. And I was like, this piece is definitely for that. But yeah, we have the 97 X-Men 97 Professor X reveal as the one of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. This again, it's like the choice of exclusive. Like usually exclusives are like you can take it or leave it and be like, oh, if I don't get it, it's okay. But with Professor X being such a major character, and it's like it's a default Professor X. Like if you weren't getting this for 97, this is a pretty good stand-in for a just comic one. But oh wait, what's that? We just got the re-release of that old I say old, but fairly old Professor X Rider series, which came with the aforementioned chair. Sans he's missing Professor X, but here, we got this chair with that Rider series, and they just did a re-release of that. So I feel like it's so strange to do a exclusive San Diego Comic Con exclusive, a character who fits perfectly for the 97 line. Like, what do you think of this? Like, did you think this was like weird to be an exclusive, or is it fine to be an exclusive because it's 97 and it's like not a lot of people get 97?
For me, I don't think it should have been exclusive at all. Like when I saw it, I was very excited because I was like, "Oh, Professor X," but then I stepped back and thought about it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And it's exclusive. And then like it just then all the things go in your head of like, "Oh, am I gonna be able to get this?" Like, "Oh, what's the price?" Even though I sort of might have an idea of price point, but like, will it be easily accessible? Will I have to then, because of the price point and because of the exclusive margin, will I have to pay double on eBay or something? And
Yeah.
but like, I will get this if I'm like able to, because I know that the last SDCC exclusive was the Savage Land 3-pack, and In Demand managed to get some in. And so, like, hopefully, fingers crossed that they'll be able to get this in. But like, if I do end up seeing like whenever this like goes up or whenever this like is available, or maybe I don't know how long afterwards, but I'm just gonna try and keep an eye on In Demand, and then whenever like it goes up, I'm just gonna like try and go get it kind of thing, just because I was mention it on the live stream that I'm in a bit of a predicament that all these most recent figures that are coming out X-Men are going to be X-Men 97, and majority of my X-Men I have are X-Men 97, and so and of course I have the Sentinel. As I don't know whether to have a 97 shelf and then try and then make a comic display somewhat, but like I do really want to. I'd have to like backtrack on some certain things, because my Wolverine at the moment is the Gameverse
Gamerverse.
one.
Yeah.
So like it's
Yeah.
and if I do a comic display, I don't really know like what Cyclops to get, and I don't really know whether to go like different routes in the X-Men and different teams and stuff. But like I'm definitely gonna get this if I'm able to. Excited to see if we get anything for season 2, even though they're all in like different outfits from what I've seen. So I am excited, but not because they're all like way different outfits that like I don't care about just yet.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna probably backtrack on some 97, like if I'm able to, because I have the CT Toys Gambit, and I really want the Legends one. And I think what I might do, I don't know like how easy it is of a swap, but I'm gonna probably swap the bow staff and um like jacket like over from both of them.
Yeah.
Just because that's soft goods, so it look kind of cool. And I don't know what the staff would be like, because I know CT Toys are kind of like a little bit smaller, even though they're scale wise decent.
Yeah.
So like they are a bit more like slim. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what that looks like, and like as for the rest of the figures, I'm just gonna backtrack, get the Wolverine, get a Storm of some sort, and just like, because I've been wanting a Magneto for ages as well, so I'm just gonna backtrack, get the 97 one, and then at some point just get a cloth goods cape or something and just put them in display, just because I wanna sort out my X-Men, just because I keep like buying other Legends and certain stuff, even though like I am trying to get MCU stuff. I just really want to like sort out my X-Men as soon as I can, kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, you want like a definitive X-Men, and so far you've got a lot of the 97, so it makes sense to kind of go back and get those characters. Like for me, one of the things that they showed in this reveal, the picture art where you've got Storm with the long hair, and obviously the missing piece of this team, well, two actually missing pieces. Jubilee in this outfit, they only gave us her season 1, like the new look that the characters had, and even then that team is not complete yet. But then we are missing Blue Beast. We don't have a Blue Beast. Hashtag Blue Beast, man. Like, not Blue Beast Man. That's a different character. But we need, like, I don't know if it's the case that imagine if this reveal was Beast, would that be also worse again? Because it's an exclusive. Like, in order to complete a team, you need to get this crazy exclusive. Whereas I thought if they were doing a 97 exclusive, I would either go like a fully winged version of Bastion, as like he's the main villain, and maybe that kind of look would be cool as an exclusive. And then in the 97 card, you get his normal Bastion look where in the show. But yeah, to me, this one of the cases of like exclusive being very annoying, because this is a sought after character for your 97 display and just in general Professor X. But it looks great. It's just weird to be putting this as an exclusive. And I know, Zion, you had mentioned that you haven't seen X-Men 97. For you, would this be an easy pass because it's you haven't watched 97 yet, or you still kind of like mad that this is your shot of a Professor X, like a classic Professor X, and you can't get it unless it's an exclusive? But yeah, let me know what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, definitely gonna pass on this figure because I haven't seen the X-97 and because I don't have an X-Men team.
Right.
But I can see the frustration and like why people are reacting to this, because it's an exclusive. Because Charles is like a mainstay of the team, the leader of the team, and people who like love X-Men are like gonna want this, and making it as an exclusive definitely is gonna like hurt the sales and like not get like good feedback. Like at most, this should have been like a deluxe instead of a exclusive.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It should have been deluxe.
Because like it's like an upgrade to a character, a main staple, and it should be like accessible for people to get. Like comparing this to the Savage Land 3-pack, different values and like different kind of characters. Like Savage Land shit was like a one time story thing and not very like known characters that much that only like real fans will like want.
Yeah.
While Charles is like a main character that everybody's gonna want.
Yeah. Totally agree. I think you're on the same, like on the money on this. It's like this should have been a character who was like, yeah, it kind of works as an exclusive. Like maybe it was like aforementioned, the final form of Bastion with a Valerie Cooper figure, and it's like, okay, and like they'll probably do a normal version of Bastion on the 97 card, and there you go. So you feel like, oh, you don't have to get the big exclusive one, although the exclusive part of it would be Valerie Cooper, because she's part of the the first season, and she will be in the second season if you've seen kind of posters. But yeah, just odd choice for this exclusive. Just wanted to check. Damien said that a gamma version of Leader could have been tempting, because I mean, yes, Toy Biz did make him in the old like Hulk animated series toy line, where he was just a tank top version of Hulk, but it's with the Leader, big brain testicle head looking guy. But he's been hulked up. So it was from the show when he transferred Hulk's muscle onto him, and it was like, oh, this is so cool. And then it goes away. But yeah, that would have made more sense for that the offering instead of Hulk 2099, even though I'm going to get it. Then, because I know we've all talked about this other exclusive, how I love the memes and everything on the packaging. So this is the other exclusive of the Spider-Man 3-pack with Spider-Man, Lizard, and Electro. Now, like, it's very like this is a good exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
but there's something that ties it, like makes it wrong, or unless later on they'll say, or they've specified, oh, we're going to do a single pack version of this character. But they show, so here you go, there's Lizard, Electro looking fun. They show the Peter head with the camera and the reused like mask accessory. But okay, they don't show it here, but they show the meme of Spider-Man doing the pointing meme, and they show another Spider-Man behind him. But because this is an exclusive, that's gonna be a bit of a hard, like a ball ache, if you will, to recreate that meme of the Spider-Man pointing meme. You'd have to get 2 of this 3-pack, or 3 of this 3-pack if you want to do 3 Spider-Man, which I feel like that's not the way to do this 3-pack. Or like they should have at least like stated that, oh, you're gonna get a single version of this figure of the Spider-Man, at least, like similar to the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man or the Japanese Spider-Man, where it was on that, single card or single box release. So then that way you can just do the whole, like you can get a normal Spider-Man to represent this version. Because honestly, I want the Spider-Man out of this set, but I don't want the villains. I just want the Spider-Man as a representation of different Spider-Man of, Spider-Verse. So it definitely, when they show that kind of like thing, it just makes you, it's annoying because you're like, oh, I don't want to get 3 of this 3-pack and then try and sell my Electro and Lizard. And it's like, like I think that's one of the frustrating things about an exclusive like this. Like, although on face value, this is a great exclusive because it's so niche to people who love, this original Spider-Man cartoon, which I've watched a few episodes. I had the DVDs back in the day. I know that's probably like still young because, I didn't actually grow up at the time of this. We're Gen Z for a reason. But, I think we all know, like even Gen Z people know of this Spider-Man pointing meme. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely the case where it's like, at least you could have said that you're gonna give us a single version, but now it's the troublesome case of trying to get 3 of this or at least 2 just to do that meme. What would you guys think? Is it weird, this exclusive, or is like, because this was the last exclusive and my overall thoughts was meh, like meh. But what about you? Did you have the same thought, or yeah?
For me, like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, like it's okay. Like I'm 50-50 on it, just because I don't have a like connection to the show, just because I didn't like grow up with it. But I know of like the memes from it, know of the theme song, know of like the other like somewhat memes about it as well. Like, and when you like, because you were talking earlier where like exclusives normally are things that you can pass on or like can be kind of things, and I feel like this is more so what an exclusive should be,
Mm,
because like it's a 3-pack from a show that like came out a bit ago, and it's like completely like different designs to anything else for these
yeah,
characters within this show. Like they're very unique in this show. They've got like little like quirky stuff. Like the lizard doesn't like he looks like the lizard, but like he's got like weird face kind of thing. Just how he's animated in the show he looks a bit odd. And and then Electro, his costume's a bit different, and he has his little like finger blast things or like his weird little hand blast things. And like, and then of course Spider-Man. The main thing for him is that his lines don't connect because that's what he was like in the show. And
mm,
so like, even though like this, because I'm still 50-50 on whether I want to get this, but it's probably going to be the case that I probably won't end up getting it. But like the main thing that I do love about it is like it literally is just a carbon copy of the cartoon. Like they didn't do the lines for Spider-Man, which is how he should be. They done a little like finger point meme. Like Lizard looks exactly like he does. Electro looks exactly like he does. Like this is, it's just a box of nostalgia for like certain people, and to be honest, I'm happy for them people, and like I'm happy that this is exclusive and not in the main line, because then it gives like a reason for us to like pass on something.
Yeah.
And also like because it's not as accessible, we won't be like searching for it or thinking in our mind, oh yeah, I should have got that, because it's not gonna like really be anywhere. And if it is anywhere, like I think this is probably gonna be, I don't know, like at least 60-70 quid. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's the case with this price. We have no clue until San Diego Comic-Con. And then, it's the whole exclusivity of it. Although, like you said, I think this is the better case of an exclusive. But then you have another release, which was the one we were talking about, Professor X. You're just like, like, how could you do it good in one end, and then the other one, it's a character we all want, and you put that as the exclusive? Chaos. But anyway, as Damien said, 1967. That's how old this Spider-Man is. But shout out Rowdy Riles. Howdy. Yeah. But yeah, what about you, Zion? Are you kind of like, this is a pass because there's no nostalgia to it, or are you kind of like you want to get that Spider-Man to recreate the memes kind of thing, or at least have a representation of the 1967 Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse?
So I will be passing on this, but just like Ashwan said, this is a good exclusive for like the people who like love the show, who like listen to the show. And then finally we got like a representation of which is probably one of the most popular Marvel cartoons of like all time. And they did it all like perfectly, with lines not connecting. It didn't have like goofy Max and Lizard look. And the web lines are like the webs are like black. So that's like a nice touch that's accurate to the cartoon.
Yeah.
And with them delving into like the other, like Spider-Man cartoons other than the 90s, because they mainly focus on that one. So to see that like recently they did like the Japanese Spider-Man, they did the Amazing Friends 3-pack. Now they're doing this. It like gives me hope that like in like a year or two they're eventually gonna get to like the 2000s Spider-Man show with the Spectacular Spider-Man, because like that would be like a good release, and then we like them hitting like each Spider-Man show for each like different generation. Like you have the original, you have the 90s, which is like one of the most popular ones that a lot of people like. And then you have Spectacular, which is like the more like Gen Z modern one. Yeah. So, and then to see how like accurate they've been like doing these different Spider-Men, it gives me hope that they're going to make the Spectacular one accurate to the show too.
Yeah, I mean, I would love Spectacular Spider-Man. He also appeared in the Spider-Verse film, so it's definitely a release that people want to see. But obviously, there's like, nostalgia for certain other people with different shows and that stuff. So sometimes it can take a back seat. Like, we don't have X-Men Evolution like figures. Kind of want that. But it's always the case with time. Eventually, things become nostalgic enough to be released in figure form. But yeah, talked a lot about the Marvel Legends. Obviously, the other case in Hasbro's side, like, so one of the main takeaways is like, you got a great exclusive. I say great, I mean it's great for the nostalgia with the Spider-Man 3-pack, but then you have the weirdness of the Professor X X-Men 97 exclusive where he shouldn't have been an exclusive. That it just feels weird. And then, you know, the inconsistency with the Hulk wave in general, but also the fact that, you know, Hasbro is still reusing like pinned bodies when most of the figures now, like, there's no consistency with the kind of like characters in your collection, unless it's like this is a one-off and you're like, okay, fine, this is fine. But like, you know, compare this to Spider-Man 2099, he's gonna look out of place with the pins, if you know what I mean. But anyway, the other thing about Hasbro, you know, there was the big exodus of GI Joe members, or the team members, but now we have Tomb Raider crossing over to GI Joe, which, like, it's definitely is such a strange. I think it would be great in the classified line, but we still don't know for sure. But I wonder if this was the case of why the team left. I mean, no, the team left because of the whole like relocation of the main place and like the travel and that stuff. But yeah, like, do you think like this is a good kind of like line or like good kind of like collaboration to do with GI Joe, or is this a bit strange? Because like, yeah, I mean, like, this is from Hasbro's perspective. We'll get to Mattel in a bit, but like, here's a quick: the GI Joe team finally like are getting Tomb Raider stuff. Yeah.
I'm like somewhat excited for this. Just because like I've played the Tomb Raider games before, just because I love that kind of like game, like them and Uncharted, or like they're similar in the sense of like you're just going and like it's like an adventure thing. You get to do like puzzles and like parkoury stuff, kind of. And so like I do like love Lara's games a lot, and so to have like her on a shelf would be kind of cool, but I don't really like know if it will be like her in a normal look or she'll be like GI Joe-ified, if you know what I mean. Like if she'll be like she'll look more like a Joe, or she'll have some sort of like red, white, and blue kind of gear or something. I don't really know, but if they just give her normal classic outfit, then I'll be happy. But it's kind of a weird collaboration to like get revealed, and when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. But then when I thought about it, I didn't really know like what they're gonna do with it. And it's just like the case of it's cool that Tomb Raider is getting figures, because I can't remember last time they got figures, even if they were licensed. But it's cool to see Hasbro doing like these Tomb Raider figures. But of course, like I said, it's just a thing of like you don't really know what to expect, because they made, like I said, GI Joe-ify Lara maybe. But
yeah, and there's one thing that I've been like thinking of, like what does this reveal mean? Is this like their hint at the SDCC exclusive that it's going to be Tomb Raider? But then there's so many Tomb Raider looks. It's like, which one are you going to go for, the modern, or are you going to go for the, first appearance one, which would be very strange in the Hasbro kind of like aesthetic, because it's very angular and whatnot. But it's definitely a strange kind of like, it makes sense in all aspects of a collab, because she is an adventurer. She uses guns and everything, and like I could see it being packed. But is it the exclusive, or will Tomb Raider be kind of added into the lore of GI Joe, and we could be getting other figures in the mainline release? But yeah, wanted to quickly shout out John. He goes, Spectacular would be tempting. That's easily the best non-comic Spider-Man. You're not wrong with that. You're not wrong. Zion, I know a lot of all three of us play video games. Have you would this be tempting to have as like a video game character like representation, or is this a bit odd?
I wouldn't say that it's like that odd, because like G.I. Joe, they have a bunch of like missions and all, but like going out there and all that stuff. And Laura is the adventurer. She goes on like adventures like to do all like different stunts. And if it's like the Lara Croft from like the video games, the more like recent like PS3 era or the PS4 era video games, that version of Lara, I'll probably end up getting it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm excited what they'll do. It's just we don't know. Like this is very vague of like Tomb Raider X, G.I. Joe. Like she could be classified up like Ashwan has said, or she could just be, you know, the iconic look. Maybe not the angular look. Uh, if you know, you know. But yeah, it's definitely like good to see that we're getting something. I know there's going to be the new show with Sophie Turner as you know, Tomb Raider, so it's like, ooh, that's exciting. Maybe this is a connection. Maybe we'll get. I know G.I. Joe has done some movie stuff, you know, with Snake Eyes. Ooh, that didn't sell great, but um, you know, who knows? This could be that. It could be just the video game looks, or it could just be one video game look. Who knows? But we move from you know, Marvel, kind of like the like Hasbro stuff is like there's definitely some weirdness of like we don't know what to expect with later stuff, but we see kind of like the same kind of things that are happening with like I mean with a long company like Hasbro, they definitely, you know, there's practices that we feel like you know, you don't have to keep on reusing an old body. You can maybe just do something new. But I think we'll move from Hasbro and we'll move straight to DC because DC Mattel is cooking. So these were the recent like images that In Demand had shown of the upcoming DC. I think this is the DC Premier line, not the to be confused with the collectible line. Although I think this is just DC Core. There's been a lot of like online debate of someone had posted the Batman figure and had been like, "Oh, this first look of the, you know, collector's line and that stuff." But this is the DC Core line figures. I think so. This is like the 3-pack. So we saw previously a Clayface, Batman, and I think it was a Nightwing. I can't remember if that was the case or it's some other character, but it seems like we're getting, you know, a 3-pack with Mr. Freeze, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and a Batman variant. They all have this like tray of accessory on sprues that, you know, you're gonna have to cut out on everything. But you have this, then you have the Bane, Nightwing, and Batman 3-pack. So again, another release of Batman. I mean, you can't go wrong without Batman. He's a good seller. But you know, so far seems like this one. It's the Batman and Nightwing have the accessory. You know, Bane's just big boy. You can see that there's reuses on the bodies, but like I think that's fine with, you know, certain characters and that stuff. But yeah, what do you guys? Oh no, that's a car. Why am I looking at Hot Toys? Not Hot Toys, Hot Wheels. I mean, they are there if you want. I can't not knock it off because it's pretty cool. You also got that's it stuff. I didn't even know these were here. I was just looking at the Mattel stuff. Well, this is Mattel, but yeah, from this and then the kind of like, well, yeah, let's go from the new stuff. So we have this, and then plus the next kind of wave that we're getting. So we're getting the Black Batman, so like similar to kind of like Keaton, and the classic Superman, then John Stewart, and then the Batman who laughs in his fursuit version. So, and then like that's the next wave. And then we do have another 3-pack with another blue Batman, Man Bat, and another Nightwing, but this time is red New 52 look. And it shows here I just wanted to show this accessory. So like each of them come with accessories, and with the Green Lantern, you can't go wrong. You've got different constructs, and one of the things I think that would be like what this line is doing great for the upcoming collector's line is that some characters won't get that same treatment of the collector version, but with the accessories of like this DC core line, you could definitely use it with the collector's line, especially for Green Lanterns, because it's just a construct. So I think that's one of the cases I'm excited for these and how they will work. And also from the first wave where we saw, I'll show you the image here of Joker, where he had the faceplates for the rest of the whole lineup of the if you got the whole wave, this would be great because then you can use these heads on those other characters if you wanted. So it's definitely like a reason to pick up maybe 2 waves or like 2 of these wave 1. But it seems like we're also getting that with this one, with the Batman Who Laughs, who comes with like a green infected head for probably Green Lantern, or it's a Green Man head, who knows? Then an infected Batman and an infected Superman. But that is, and then so those are the new stuff. What do you guys think of like seeing this, as these are coming soon to the like for us, we're expecting the first wave at the end of May, so it's pretty sick. But what do you guys think of these DC core lines? Would you be picking these up, and is this a good sign from Mattel of like how quick they're giving us these looks for the new characters in this line?
I think they look really good. Like from what I've seen, like I'm familiar with the WWE basic stuff, and just like they are basically, of course, the basics, but they're more kitted out than any basic that WWE have done. Like you get so much stuff, like you get a whole sprue of accessories for each one. Even though they're more so like gimmicky accessories than like actual other kind of stuff, like an extra hand or stuff like that. But like at the same time, they're meant for kids, so it makes sense. But like I was saying to you, Zman at MCM, and also Dan and Simon, that I'm still 50-50 on this whole kids line, and I don't know whether to go all in on it. Like I don't know like what to do with it, because my main thing that I keep thinking about is that even though some of these characters will be made in the more like collector line, I just don't know how long that's going to be. And so I don't then want to, like, for instance, even though like probably they will get made, but the 3-pack with Bane in it and the 3-pack with Man-Bat, what if Bane and Man-Bat take ages to be made in the collector's line? Like, that's what I'm somewhat thinking of. And also Mr. Freeze. I forgot about Mr. Freeze. Like, them 3 main, like, 3 of the top Batman villains, or just Batman villains in general, like, and of course they, like I said, they probably will get made, but I don't know how long that's going to be. I don't even know like what the plans are for their first wave of collector line, and so I don't know whether to like get most of the kids stuff that is coming out before the collector's line, just in case. And so I've been like 50-50 with everything that comes out, just because like I honestly am stuck on what to do.
Like, I do get that. Like, it's gonna be like, obviously you collect the wrestling stuff, and they have that kind of like, oh, they do the basics, and then they do the elite, and then they do the ultimate. And sometimes a character won't get that ultimate, or even get an elite version, but at least having them in the line is like, okay, cool, you have that representation of that character. But for me, it's like I really like this kind of like one of the like standouts for me is like this Batman and the Green Lantern. Like for Batman, you get a weapons rack that you can put all these weapons on, and you could still put that on a display for your like a for the collector's line, and potentially a Bat Cave. Like one of the things that I'm thinking that Mattel could really do a great line with the more kid line is do play sets and make it compatible because it's the same scale with your collector's line. So a Fortress of Solitude, a Flash Museum, or you know, all sorts. Like even I think Batcave is like very much a possibility because we've seen that they're doing a Batmobile, and for me, I have here, the Robin with the Robin cycle that is compatible with the aforementioned Batcave, Batmobile, so you can actually combine it. And I think Mattel did this like previously with their DC license, where they did a Batmobile where you could take the second second seat and take it out and use it as a single bike. And I'm like, that's so cool. And they've done it again here, but like they've made it more of like, oh, you can actually combine it together. Like this is a separate purchase. You don't need it, but if you wanted to, you can combine it and still have a 2-seater Batmobile. Because the initial, I think the one that they have, it's a 1-seater, but if you use the Robin, you can achieve that. And I think the creativity in this Mattel line is already like making me so happy. Like I think with it's too soon to say like, oh, like compared to Marvel Legends. It's because Marvel Legends is the adult collector line, whereas this Mattel one is the DC core line, mainly meant for the kids. But I feel like it's not too kiddie. Like Hasbro don't have like a line that's similar to the Legends that could work with it. They have just the kiddie line, whereas this, it's like a balance of like how you said with the WWE stuff. So it definitely feels hopeful, and like it's definitely a better way to do like synergy between lines. You don't have to like you can pick and choose, but you don't feel like, oh, this is basic rubbish. Like, to be fair, some people have got this in person. I mean, I have an open mind, but this is the look of them in like actual like people's hands. So you got the Joker, which I much prefer this color of Joker compared to what was shown here in the box, where it looked very bright. It could just be lighting and anything, but like this looks like a decent Joker figure that you could put in your adult collecting. Like you can put it in your main line until there's a new Joker, and then you can still keep the accessories with this. And then you got the Batman, who looks amazing. Like look at the sculpted detail, the kind of like one of the things it does show here that you can attach the accessories on the belt of Batman, which is just insane fun. Like, and like if this is for the kids line, just imagine the collector's line, like with bendy wire capes, maybe, but like similar feature with the belt where you can actually utilize it, and then the articulation. Like so far, this articulation is quite good, and like it's a step up from McFarlane, that's for sure. It doesn't have the ugly pins. Like this is pinless. All these figures are pinless, and it's like double jointed legs. I think double jointed arms, maybe not. I mean, yeah. It's on like a kind of like ball joint. I think I'm not sure. Definitely need to open this Robin soon. Obviously, I think the difference is with the collector's line is probably going to have like the feet pivot, kind of like ankle pivot situation, whereas these are just like swivel boots. But then again, I'm like, these are just good as is as like a action figure. And I feel like, shout out Dan, who he did his review of the Robin, and that scales perfectly with Legends. And like, you know, the Robin's going to be short anyway, like in terms of like characters. He's not too short, but yeah. What do you guys think from this? Is this like a good sign from Mattel of like we're eating good finally? Like DC Collect can actually get some good stuff, because we've had or as you know, some people said, we haven't gotten any decent DC figures since 2019. If you forget a certain other company that did do DC figures, McFarlane. Sorry, that came out. But what do you guys think? Like, is this a good sign, or is this like, I'm not impressed?
I would say it's a good sign, especially since they're like having stuff like not hard plastic capes in the kids line. So, and when they get to the collectors line, then there's no way they're gonna go back and downgrade to like plastic capes like Hasbro does.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And like, I know, Zion, you love the Flash and you want a decent. Is this now like seeing like the Batman and Joker like look and kind of like their kind of like articulation? Are you? Would you be picking this Flash up, or are you still on the fence?
Maybe. The thing with this kids line is that I'm definitely gonna get the collector line, but then with the kids line coming on and like all this stuff, there's still like a lot of like figures that I still like want from just Legends and figure arts in general that I still need to like catch up on. And knowing that they're gonna be like a collector's line next year, it'll just be me just like rebuying stuff over and over when I could have like spent that money on like a figure that I've been wanting for a long time. But this one Flash might be just like one exception.
Yeah.
I might get this.
Yeah. I get more people into the DC core line. Woo! I mean, you know, I think you say great, like good things of like, there is the issue of like, if they do a certain character in the, I mean, they're going to do like the mainstays, of course, in the collector's line, but like it's, so then you don't want to get the main version of like, say, for example, Flash. But then I'm like, but it's the accessories probably. And like, especially with this price point, these figures are around about $12.99. Like these normal figures are $12.99. So like, I'm like, it's a great price for an action figure, and it's a 6.5 inch figure, like legend scale, like type of figure, and it's $12.99. Like I could easily just put these with the legends, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't need the collector's line. I don't need that. Obviously, I will, but it's like you already like these are like very decent and like so far look great. Like I can't wait to get the Robin out. So I definitely want to do it like as an unboxing thing, but you know, for like if Dan does the unboxing stream, because that's going to be a fun figure. But let me just check the chat. We had Tac Toys. He's catching the live. He just woke up. What? Mark, are you a secret agent who never sleeps? Who knows? No, he did sleep, but he just woke up now. So yeah, he said the DC figures look really fun. I think that's one of the cases I see like they look like fun, and when figures look like fun, it's good to see that, like, you know, that fun kind of like factor, because you got these crazy accessories that, you know, like the Batman didn't need to have the utility belt being able to attach everything, but it does, and it's just like, what? Like, what? We didn't ask this, but they've given it to us. It was like, here you go, have fun, eat good. Finally. And yeah, like I think again, Damien saying it's a fun set. He was also saying, like, you know, if like he'd want Marvel to do a Marvel Universe, like to return the Marvel Universe line, which I kind of agree on, because like it would work with characters like, you know how like scaling wise, like Galactus is quite huge, and we can't unfortunately get characters like the Celestials because they're huge, like they're massive, like in terms of a legend scale, it'd be difficult. But if they did do Marvel Universe figures, which were in the 3.75-inch line of size, it'd be so fun. Like you could have those as your like to scale of like compared to like they did as Celestial and that stuff. That's a different topic. But Damien also goes, it's a 50-50 for me with McFarlane. I have no problem with his Batman 66 or a few classic villains. To be honest, he seems to excel better for them than he does the heroes or female characters. Movie stuff is cool. I've seen a lot of people do like the more movie based stuff, or I think definitely the Adam West line that McFarlane did, because that was technically like 6-inch scale. People were like, yeah, I can collect this, and they went in deep with that line. That's one of the lines I'm like, McFarlane, you actually did a good job there. But then when it came to, I think one of the things that you can see from the I think from Dan's review is that the scaling with the characters, I think we're going to be eating good for like Batman and Robin. Like, I mean, look at this scaling for Batman and Joker. I think this is perfect. Like, Joker shouldn't be super tall. Like, I think a lot of the issues with McFarlane is that the scaling was off the charts. Like, Tim Drake Robin was taller than Batman. You had like a beefier. Like, you were good. Like, you had a beefier Robin than beefier Batman, and it was all over the place. Of like, oh, this is supposed to be Damien, but he's tall. Like, what's going on? Like, your kid characters didn't look like kids, like teens, like Superboy and Bart Allen, Impulse, which I feel like with this kind of scaling we're seeing with Batman and Joker, I think Mattel understands like there should be a certain scale with characters already with this line. But we also like Mark Tech. I'm a secret agent who sleeps too much. Yeah, there you go. There's your title, Tech. But he goes, Hasbro should maybe make a 6-inch basic line for kids called Marvel Superheroes or something like that with similar options like this. I mean, maybe, yeah. Maybe. It's so crashed. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things we haven't seen with Legends of tackling teen bodies, and we haven't seen it here from Mattel. But judging from like these figures of like two of the main like duos of villain and hero, how they scale with each other, and it's not like they're the same height or Batman's too tall or whatever. I feel like Mattel's got our backs. Maybe I could be too optimistic. Maybe change my name to the Mattel enthusiast, not the McFarlane apologist, because I've gone off the McFarlane. I'm all off the McFarlane. No, I'm joking. I still collect the Mortal Kombat stuff, and until Tony Mac goes bye with DC, some stuff might interest me, but definitely not full DC stuff. But yeah. There's a oh look, we have displayed once going, stay away from the Barbies. I wouldn't get, I mean, no. That's a dangerous rabbit hole. But yeah, so yeah, we've got these to look forward to with the DC core line. Robin, Flash, Joker, Batman, and then we have they have these 3-packs which are kind of great for, like, I think the Bane looks fantastic, and I wouldn't care, like I would get this as my main Bane and I'd keep him there because he just looks so good. I think I think the main takeaway here is like these look fun. They come with accessories that, normally like one of the cases with like Legends is that I'm not bad mouthing Legends because it's the line that I started and I'm still collecting, but it's definitely like sometimes you see, like someone was talking about this with Star Wars, of like they are priced at like 28.99. Some of them, like the prices have gone up, but they don't come with that much accessories to justify that price. I said justify. Oh no. um but like, and like with Legends, sometimes you have the inconsistency of like a Spider-Man coming with all his hands. Like he won't come with a wall crawling hand, or he won't come with a fist, or it's always the case of like that stuff's strange. And this is me being like, oh yeah, I'm looking at these core line, but we don't know what the collector line will be like. But just by this, I'm kind of like, I'm excited. Can't wait to see the collector stuff. Oh, there you go. See, again, display once. Rich going. Joker and Robin are due in Amazon UK this Tuesday. Yes, make sure to check for that. I'll probably get Robin soon, but as in I'll get that again in order. But yeah. So to sum up, like, do you think, like, I think we've already said this, like, we're excited for this line. The core line is potential of like, getting that and having that as your stand-in to stay with your Legends. Would you do that with your display if you got like a few of these? Would you pair it up with Legends and do like a whole DC crossover with Marvel, or are you going to be like, let's stick them separately and then maybe do some shots with them together?
I wouldn't like probably ever put them on the same shelf. Like I would maybe like I wouldn't put them on the shelf, but maybe like you said, like maybe do like a photo of like Iron Man and Batman fighting each other or something, or like the Flash and Quicksilver, or like certain stuff like that. Where it's just like maybe just some like cool little fight scenes between like characters on either side, but like I wouldn't like ever put them together, and especially I wouldn't put the basic stuff or like the core line with any of the Legends, just because I'd rather have like the Batman from the collector line against a collector line or Legends Iron Man kind of thing, and pair them together.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, this line is like, so far, and of course we don't know what's come from the collector line, like you said, but so far it's set very high expectations, and it's looked very good so far. Like the characters that they're putting out and certain people they're putting out, like it seems like even though like we haven't got a Wonder Woman who's a main factor of the Justice League, we like bit by bit we're like already in the basic line or core line revealed, we've got 4 members of the Justice League. And so like who's to say that they don't make more in this core line? But very good so far from them, I think.
Yeah. And what about you, Zion?
Yeah, I'll keep them separate on like different like sides of the display, and I'll only like do it with the collector's line against the Legends, and do like some like photos, like how I recently did like my Maximum Spider-Man, my C Toys Batman. Just do like some like fun crossover with like some like picture photography, and then them go back to their different displays.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I know that there is this like taboo rule of crossing lines, or crossing the streams together. Like, don't cross the streams. Ghostbuster. Kind of like, you don't want to mix and match. I used to with the Mattel DC Universe Classics. I used to do that as a fight scene with Marvel, like with Marvel Legends. But I might do that again and like see how they pair together until the collector stuff happens, and then see where that goes. But I don't. Like, I want to say I'm all in, but I won't get them straight away. I'm gonna get Robin, Tim Drake. He looks like Dick Grayson. Different conversation, but definitely Robin and a Batman for sure. Joker potentially, because then it's like all the Batman villains, and those 3-packs are the most tempting of the releases. But in regards to, so I know Damien had said that probably see more SDCC not long, folks. So one of the things that I did ask In Demand Toys while we were at MCM was when are they expecting the stuff from, like the DC stuff from Mattel? They had said they're expecting the DC core line in July. Then the collector's line, they're expecting them in December. So that means SDCC will probably show either a render or like a grayscale version of that collector line. That's my prediction. I think if the figures are like coming to them by December, it means that they're almost ready in the case. Like I know, like compared to now, May to December, there's still a few months. So there's still like things to work on. But SDCC is the next Comic Con. And I'd be surprised if they didn't show anything from the collectors because everyone's looking forward to that. But yeah, it's definitely an exciting time to be a DC fan because going to be eating good for any of these kind of like figures and that stuff. But yeah, so Compulse Collector goes, I'm leaning toward getting that Joker just in case they use a drastically different design for a more articulated release later. That Joker design is great. I will show this here. There you go. This one. Yeah, no, I do agree. He doesn't have that like bulky guy in a suit look. He's more slender. And I really like, and his face is so good. So good. It doesn't show him with like his full accessories. I know it's in here. He's got like the gun and he's got like the boxing glove kind of like attachment, and plus these heads. Interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, we've got Mattel, we got Legends still going on. Do you think they could also do an amalgam collaborate? Do you think Mattel would do a collab with Legends to do kind of like 2-packs of one Legend and one Mattel figure?
Are Hasbro and Mattel like rivals?
That's true. See, this is now optimistic Z-Man here being like, the possibilities are endless. We could get an amalgam line that is like worked together with the Hasbro team, like maybe Dwight and then you got the Mattel team, and they make the figure, like they design it together to be like, yeah, we got this amalgam comics line, which is, for those who don't know, is the crossover brand that Marvel and DC made, as it was crossover characters. So it'd be like a mix of Wolverine and Batman created Dark Claw, and then you had Captain America, Super Soldier with, of course, Superman. Let me show an image because it's one of the like fun things of the 90s that I wish they brought back. Although the recent Batman and Deadpool did showcase Dark Claw in that issue. But yeah, this was like the peak 90s goofiness or fun, because these are the characters that we had, like I said, Super Soldier here, Superman and Captain America, Batman and Wolverine, Dark Claw, Superboy and Spider-Man. And it was like Spider-Boy? Yeah, it was Spider-Boy. And then you got characters like Doctor Strange, Fate, I think it was Deadeye here, Night Creeper. I can't remember Storm's one, and then it was like Doctor Doomsday. You had such like fun characters designs, and I'm like, I'm so surprised no one has done like action figures of these characters. And maybe now with Mattel, but then again, like you said, it could be the case of like maybe not because they're still rivals. They won't work together. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this was the recent character they made up was like Lobo and Wolverine crossover where it was like his name is Logo. Because comics. But yeah, like the sky's the limit. As I say, I'm too optimistic, but I even shout out Virtual Dave here in the chat. Amalgam would not be down to Hasbro and Mattel seeing eye to eye. Be down to Disney and Warner Brothers seeing eye to eye. That's true. I bet Mattel and Hasbro would be like, yeah, let's do it. Money. But then it would be like Warner Brothers and Disney being like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Even though they have done these crossover comics like with Superman and Spider-Man and Batman and Deadpool, and those have been like really good like hits for like just single issues and that stuff. I mean, Ashwan, you've been getting the Superman and Spider-Man, and people like the stories that they're doing. So I'm like, come on, it's a good sell. Oh yeah, that's true. Hasbro and Mattel have been doing crossovers with brands like He-Man and Transformers. So
Interesting.
and Transformers with Hot Wheels. So it's not like and there is a rumor of a Transformers Batmobile. I don't know what Batmobile would be, but that's such a good crossover line. Like, again, Transformers have, this is more in the same building, but Transformers did do a Bluebird or the X-Jet. I'm like, oh, that's different. But yeah, they're their own bands. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it'd be difficult. Anyway, that is pretty much, I think that's pretty much it for like the Mattel and Hasbro stuff. Like Hasbro is still going to be chucking on with their Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe, although G.I. Joe, we're not sure after the kind of like three main designers of that group left. And now we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what the exclusives are. We don't know what the line's going to look like. So it's a bit of shaky waters. But then you got Mattel, who's like, we're back, baby. We got the DC license again. Here's our fun stuff, and look forward to the new stuff. But yeah. Oh, hello. There we go. So that's pretty much it for the topic. I mean, it's decent reveals. The like Legends, like I think this year the Legends stuff has been a bit slow in terms of reveals and streams and whatnot, but it's still good. It's not like, I did complain about the pins and whatnot. Anyway, that's too much. I'm not a hater of Hasbro. Dan, I know you're there. You'll probably be like, oh, Z-Man hates Legends. No, they're still good. It's just DC is my baby. I love DC. Marvel is it's okay. It's the other child. But anyway, let's go from Z to A. Zion, where can the lovely people find you, and what are your kind of like final thoughts of the whole Mattel and Hasbro comparisons?
Mattel is just now like getting started with their lines, and obviously their stuff is going to like look better because like they have like technology that Hasbro didn't have when they first started. Like Hasbro's still like upgrading, while Mattel already has like access to all that like tech. So I kind of see why like Mattel's kind of like figures out like looking like good and better, and then like Hasbro is. But then we'll have to wait and see with the collector's line. But until then, they can find me here on Gen Z Report every Saturday on Instagram at gjohnsty _, and every other Sunday on Dan Who's Legend Liquor Group 2.
Nice. And from there, we move on to Ashwan 231 Comics. What are your final thoughts on this Mattel and Hasbro beef? I don't know it's a beef yet, but it's still in the cooking. But yeah, and also, where can the lovely people find you?
Well, with the Hasbro and Mattel thing, like I wouldn't mind it maybe happening, but like from either side of it, even Hasbro and Mattel, I don't know, just because like you were saying about the comics doing so well, but of course the teams are so different. Like it's not like with the merchandise, it is more so to do with like probably Disney and Warner Bros. But then when it comes to the comics, they don't like have that much of a say in it, I don't think. And so the comics are way easier to put out because they're both. So how they done the comics is at least on the Spider-Man and Superman one. DC released one, then Marvel released one. Even though they're even though they're like going together, DC released one, then Marvel released one. So it's like they still technically went separate, but also were somewhat together. But other than that, of course, Ashwan231 on Instagram, Ashwan231 Comics on YouTube, and I'm gonna say that my video next week is probably gonna be a bit later, just because it's bank holiday for us in the UK on Monday, and so my comic shop will get their delivery a little bit later, and so expect the video out Thursday. So Thursday I'll do a video, which actually could be a good thing, just because sometimes I tend to go out with grandparents on Thursday, so I'll be able to include them into the video if I do end up getting anything with them. But of course, find me on YouTube, Ashwan231 Comics. I post weekly videos, and of course you can find me here every week, 10 p.m. UK time on the Gen Z Report, and every 2 weeks Legends and Liquor on Dan Who Reviews. Of course, Thursday extra show live stream when we talk about whatever the topic is. But of course, if you want to see that, then become a member, guys. Even though most of you probably are already, but if you're not, become a member to Dan Who, because you get good quality content. But yeah,
Awesome. And for me to close off, I am very optimistic about the whole Mattel. Let me do it like this. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. The Mattel line is definitely very exciting, and I think from the Motu stuff they're doing for the movie and the normal line, I feel like there's kind of more synergy in the lines, and there's definitely a good horizon to look forward to with the DC stuff. And Hasbro is good. I think there's some cases where there could be some improvements, but that's the case with every kind of line. They do need to do some stuff, and then they do eventually. So it's like a case of let's hope they do improve this kind of communication with the fans of the streams and sort of announcements, because I think the beginning of this year was very empty for Marvel Legends. So I think we definitely need to see more stuff, or more of the team, basically. But anyway, that's the conversation that we had today of the Mattel rises as Hasbro falls. But technically, they're still 6-7. But you can obviously find me here on Gen Z Report every Saturday, always discussing fun topics and also doing pickups and toy news and all that palaver. But you can also find me on Dan Who's Legends and Liquor, also whenever he does the extra show. And also, because I am an agent who goes everywhere, I also appear on the recap on Encounter Cultures live stream, so you can always check me there. And last but not least, you can look at my Instagram at agent_Zman. But yeah, that was the topic today. Hope you all had a great, evening. I hope we gave you enough entertainment. And make sure, please, like and subscribe. That's it for today. Let's give a wave to the lovely people, and we'll see you out. Bye-bye.
Quested.
The Gen Z Report, your weekly dose of awesome.
Toys and comics.
Covering all the topics, week in, week out. That's what it's all about.
The only source you need.
The Gen Z Report.
Gen Z Report.
Gen Z Report.
Ashwan, Zion, Z-Man.